Hello, everybody. Welcome. It feels like it's been a while, hasn't it? Welcome, Rogie, with 24 months on the subs. Appreciate you, Rogie. Bayview Ultras are here. Yes, we've got a few things that have happened since the last stream, all the way back on Friday. Obviously, we were meant to have a stream last night, but the internet decided not to work. So Rajo's in with 20 months as well. Thank you, Rajo. Very, very kind indeed. Appreciate the support, as always, from two of the longest suffering members of the TJFM. I was going to say universe for a second there, but Odyssey community. I think it's probably a better word to be honest. But yeah, so Wilco, you've already addressed it. There's been a slight change, a little change. We've left Torytown. We've decided to leave Torytown. We did our bits for the Tories. And after nearly 4 years, I think we did more than enough, to be honest. More than enough. We decided it was time to leave. I'm going to do something we think is going to be morally better. So we've gone north of the border, gone all the way across to East Fife. Things are about to get very, very interesting. So, here is where we are. Right. What happened? What happened was Oxford, right? Oxford. Okay. Welcome, Rajo. Welcome, Wilco. Welcome, Fat Knight. Welcome, Rogie. Welcome, Weaselmont. Welcome, everyone else who, by the way, it's just sort of like hanging and lurking in the background. You're more than welcome, of course, anyone who's here. The kits are... They are stunning. They are stunning. These kits, Jorma Classics, I believe here. So I don't know, Rogie. I don't know what the favourite one is. I'm thinking maybe the home kit, to be honest. That home kit is probably my favourite, but that bright pink away kit is a thing of beauty as well, isn't it? So, so this is what's happened. Okay, so Oxford, we started incredibly, absolutely incredibly. And we were wondering when the bubble was going to burst. And it turns out it was last stream. Now, I don't know how or why, but it just stopped working. Things just stopped working. And we were slipping a little bit. We went from second all the way down to like 7th or 8th or something, which in the grand scheme of things isn't terrible because we were expected to finish mid-table at best. Well, we're expected to be relegated, really, but... The pre-season figures would have you suggesting that we were going to finish mid-table, and I was like, right, fine, maybe we can halt this a little bit, we can fix it. We still had the Papa John's in the distance, so we're like, right, let's get the Papa John's done, we'll be fine. It got to January, right, and we slipped out of the playoffs, and I was like, this is getting a bit rough now, like, because we'd obviously turned down going to Bristol City. We thought that was going to be the sort of like that was going to be the move that wasn't going to get us anything. But then I was like, well, let's stay at Oxford one more time. If we get the Papa John's, that's great. Hopefully we can get League One as well and get that ticked off. Starting to slip out of the playoff picture, so I was like, it's not really working here, is it? And I was like, well, maybe we can sort of like bring some more players in, restructure in January. Few players were starting to kick off. In fact, quite a lot of players were starting to kick off that they weren't getting games. So like, right, get them out. We sold Bobby Fresno for £3.4 million, which is like a ridiculous amount of money, to be honest, at that level. The board gave us $2 and a bit million to reinvest. So we were like, okay, fine, we're going to make some money off that deal. Then loaned him back for free. So I was like, we're quids in here. Absolutely. We're swimming in cash. We've played this blindingly. Bought 2 more players for like 100 grand or so, 150 grand or whatever like that. Didn't realise when I signed those 2 players, that was going to tip me over the edge for FFP. And I was then spending more money than we were bringing in, which was bizarre because we still weren't spending more than our wage budget, but we were spending more than we were allowed to spend. And I hadn't considered that. So when the January transfer window opened up and I've got a sack full of cash here to go and spend, I get an email from FFP saying, you're under a transfer embargo because you've spent too much money. And I went, oh shit, I had as well. I had I had spent too much money. That was the problem. And therefore, a lot of players just left. So all the players were going out. We were like, quick, get players off the wage budget, get them out the door quick as we can. We couldn't replace them. And at that point, I'd mentally clocked out. I was like, fuck this. Like, I wasn't up for the fight at that point. I was like, no. I've screwed myself over here. I've made a terrible error. It's my fault. And yeah, it was just a bit like, oh dear. And then the league form obviously got worse. And then we basically thought, right, let's, at least try and see what we could do with the Papa Johns. We actually fixed it. We fixed it, Wilco. We got ourselves back out of FFP issues. So they lifted the embargo during the transfer window. So we were like, do we bring players in? Do we not? We tried to have a little look around, but we were looking around as well at the same time. And then East Fife's job came up, and we interviewed for it. And before we even got the interview, they were like saying, look, we can't interview because we can't negotiate your release clause is too much. So I said to them, look, I said to the board, I was like, look, East Fife want me. What's the crap there? And then they were like, yeah, but we want you to stay. And I was like, yeah, but it's not kind of what we're going to do, is it really? And so I think we threatened to resign. I remember we threatened to resign, and then they were like, look, fine, like, go and talk to East Fife, see what they say, right? So we turned up to East Fife. We had a conversation with them. They were clearly desperate to have us in because we said, look, we'll join at the end of the season. Now, at this point, East Fife were sat bottom of the League One here. Okay, they were sat bottom. As you can see, they actually finished 6th overall. Now, they were sat bottom and quite cut adrift as well, right? Look, not looking good there, was it? But then they had this spike that you could just behind my head there. They went on this sort of like this run that obviously took them up to 6th. And I said, look, I'll come and join, but it's going to have to be next season. Like, because I thought we were going to stay and try and get the Papa Johns and try and fix Oxford. So I said, look, we'll do it for next season. And then East Fife were like, okay, cool. Next season works for us. So I accepted the job. Because when they offered it, I was like, oh, can we go now, actually? Because I think we go now. But yeah, we'd already agreed it for next season, so it had to be next season. So I was like, right, fine. So then we went and did the Papa Johns. Then we got knocked out by Wimbledon. And at that point, we all kind of collectively agreed that there wasn't really anything to play for at Oxford now. So we resigned, holidayed to the end of the season. We've turned up. So this is like the first day of my contract, essentially. So 30th of May, right? We've turned up. East Fife have finished 6th. So they've got themselves out of the relegation. That's fantastic. Okay, so that means they're going to play in League One. We actually thought, now the reason that we came to East Fife was we thought they were going to get relegated to League Two. And therefore we sort of hoped we could have that sort of like, let's bounce all the way up from League Two and try and go a bit higher. So we're actually going to start off in the Scottish League One, which we hadn't sort of encountered or thought about, but that's fine. That's not a problem. So I'm just going to update the graphic behind us as well. So we'll get that all done and dusted. And with that, the interesting thing, of course, is trying to work out where Oxford finished. Okay, so Oxford actually finished. If we have a little look, find out where they finished. They finished 8th, believe it or not. So they actually just missed out on the playoffs by 4 points. So I'm not saying that we would have finished just outside the playoffs. Maybe we would, maybe we wouldn't. I don't really think it matters, to be honest. But we're here now. And that's the thing. We've left Oxford behind. They did sort of plateau, as you can see. This is where it started to tail off here. This sort of like dive bombing. So things did start to slip a little bit, and they managed to restabilize. They've got themselves. They were in the playoffs for a second, and they went back down, and then So Oxford are where they are. They currently have Dave Challoner, the former person who could throw the ball the furthest, like proper long throw expert, is their current manager. So that's pretty good. They've signed Stephen Douglas on loan, which is interesting. There's a player that we looked at. not going to lie, there's a couple of players that we'd like to go and have a little look at. I don't know if they're going to come to Scotland, mind. But Matthew Blake's on the transfer list. Is he really now? That's interesting. We'll, of course, have a little look and see if there's any players we can get across to East Fife. But one thing that is interesting that we have done already, and we did very, very little when we closed the stream off on Friday. Shout out, by the way, to Lelujo, who sent like about 400 people into the raid just as we were sort of going, we're about to leave. It's going to be great. We're about to sack it all off. It's going to be fantastic. And then they stuck around. They sort of had a bit of watch, and they saw how this was going to unfold. One thing that I did do though before we logged off the stream was we offered a trial to Bailey Kadamari. So maybe we can kind of get Kadamari back involved. The reason we went there is because DJ Pedro has a contract until December. Okay, so we can't get DJ Pedro back just yet. Hello, Llama. Welcome. Pleasure to have you in, sir. How are we? We'll, of course, shout out to Llama. Is it just Llama? Don't know. There you are. Yeah. It's already done. Aguero signed for me for Bristol for 170 grand. I mean, look, Aguero is the guy, right? So he's banging the goals in left, right, and centre. I don't know if we're going to get Aguero in, but you know, we can certainly have a conversation, but I can't see it happening really, if I'm honest. We might be able to have a look at some Linfield players, but if we have a little look at some Oxford players, there might be some there, we don't know. This is the expectations that we've got, though, by the way, for this season. So work within the transfer budget, grow the club's reputation, 1-year contracts for players over 33, avoid relegation from League One. That's what we're expecting for next season. Be competitive in the Scottish Cup, be competitive in the Premier Sports Cup, and be competitive in the SPFL Trust Trophy. Eagle-eyed amongst you will realise that is 4 trophies to work towards. 4. Right, okay, so that's already better than last season in League One when we had League One and the Papa Johns to play for. Because, of course, with the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, we're never going to win. It's unlikely we'll win the Scottish Cup or the Premier Sports Cup, but hey, you never know. There is... somebody had mentioned on... in the Discord, actually, had mentioned that East Fife have won the Scottish Cup from the 3rd Division. Or the 2nd Division, I should say, sorry. Challenge accepted. They've never won it from the 3rd Division, though. Challenge accepted. Let's have a look at that. This, however, is, of course, the squad. We didn't win the Pizza Cup, unfortunately. There are no Pizza Cups for us, I'm afraid. And I'm also regretting putting a hoodie on. I'm already thinking, this is going to get warm tonight. You can normally tell, right? You can normally tell whenever there's an admin stream coming on, because it's like, because I always have a hoodie on rather than a t-shirt, because I'm like, there's not going to be too much to do. It's not going to be like too sweaty or whatever, but I'm already regretting putting this hoodie on. So actually what I might do is I might go and change and put my t-shirt on. So give me 2 seconds. The chair is in charge. There we go. First person in history to go, you know what? It's the end of February. It's too hot. It's too hot. Right. So we're gonna get the pens and paper out. We're gonna go old school. Pens and paper. And we're gonna go through the squad. I'm gonna find out who we've got, what we've got, more importantly, what we need. Because I'm guessing quality is going to be the first thing that we're going to need. So we'll, of course, have a little nosy at our players right now. So, and we'll have to work out a tactic tonight as well and a plan of action. Like, where do we think we're going to be? Because we're expected to finish this season. They were expected to finish in 5th. They finished in 6th. So that's not actually too bad, to be honest, really. So we've now got to have a quick little nosy and go, right, how can we get ourselves promoted? What's the, who came down actually from the championship? Let's have a wee little look, shall we? Ayr United came down. We'll do the squad planner as well. Got mainly Dross, need players with good haircuts and whimsical names. Yes, exactly. Right. Boo for Ayr. Exactly, Rogie. Exactly. So what we're gonna do? I'm gonna go through my little list first of all, just to have a little look. Then we'll do the tactic. Then we'll do the squad planner. Then we'll start scouting. We've got the football game as well to play when it gets a bit slow. So don't worry about that. So as I say, tonight is admin stream. Do you reckon Renford would come? I don't think Renford's going to leave Southend, I believe. He's a fringe player. Maybe. Where's Aguero? Is Aguero going to be interested? Fringe player. It's going to be loan, isn't it? It's going to be loads. There's got to be some players that we can get in on loan, to be honest. But it'll be fine. So as has been pointed out as well, by the way, by Bearded Child, entire Scottish team. That's what we've got here, an entirely Scottish team. So that's interesting. Who got promoted is a good question. Clyde got promoted. They came up ahead of Berwick. So Berwick, Brawler Rangers, FC Edinburgh, Dumbarton, Stirling, Peterhead, Albion Rovers, and an Embody Ring Rose stayed down in the division. We should look at the. We'll have a look at the sort of the stats and stuff, like who played well last season. We'll try and have a little look and see about the players that we can poach from other clubs, because that's obviously the best way to try and do it. I think everyone has a vastly different idea of the quality of play we'll be able to get compared to what we'll actually get. Oh, Rogie, my understanding is 100% glued up. If you thought that players at Banbridge looked a bit crap, just you wait. Liam Harvey, actually, that's a good shout. Liam Harvey up there from Montrose. Redeemed the 90s food item. Let's have a look at 90s food items, shall we? 17 goals, 24 goals overall. That is something we need to be looking at, to be honest. Should also, we'll get better players than Banbridge. We'll get better players attributes-wise, Rogie, but will we get a DJ Pedro? Who knows? That's what we need to see. This is where the finances are, so bear this in mind as well, okay? Compared to Banbridge, yes, this is a hell of a lot better. £270,000 our transfer budget. Our wage budget, £8,500, and we're currently spending £5,500. So by my maths, that's £3,000, and then we'll obviously work out where we fuck up FFP this time. In terms of where the league is in comparison, because this is obviously where we're trying to work out, right? I think we are just below League Two. So we're about national level, to be honest, okay? In terms of comparison with England. As we get here, so Cinch League One, there you go. Cinch League One, 92nd in the overall rankings in Europe, okay? So just ahead of the Vanarama National League. So the Vanarama National League is 98, okay? Sky Bet League 2 is 77th. So there's not a massive difference, really, in there. It's a 1.5-star league to a 2-star league. I mean, the Luxembourg National Division is slightly higher. The Kosovan Super League, the Montenegrin First Division, and the Gibraltar First Division are all higher, obviously, along with the Latvian Optibet Versliga, and the Estonian Premier League, and the Armenian High League. So, but it's not far until we get to the Israeli National League, and the Faroe Islands Premiership. So we're getting there. We are getting there. There is a lot of money. There is a lot of money in terms of what we should be having with regards to this club, and and this league. What is also interesting, Rule 1, never compare yourself to the Kosovan Super League. You'll always come up short. What is interesting is this, okay? We had a quick look at it the other day. And if we go to the comparison, right? This is the squad we've got already. Before we look at the players, right, just think about this, okay? So, we've got the heaviest team, bunch of fat lads. Excellent, right? We've got one of the tallest teams in the league as well. So our average height is 6 foot. Our average weight is 12 stone. Our average age is 23.86. So we're kind of just below average in that league. We've got some of the lowest. Well, we've got no international caps. We're the lowest in the league for international caps. Our average wage is below everyone else. So that's pretty decent as well. And our transfer value is below the average of the of the league. This, of course, yes, is before contract ends. This is what we've inherited right now, okay? In terms of goalkeepers, in terms of players overall in the division, we've actually got the highest leadership in the league if we have the same squad going into next season right now. We have above average strength, we have average decision making, below average first touch, below average passing, below average work rate, really, really, really low. We've got the lowest teamwork in the league, and we've got below average aggression. And goalkeepers, apparently our goalkeeper's a fucking superstar. He's the best handling, he's the best aerial reach, and he's got the best throwing in the division. So again, let's keep that in mind. He can kick pretty good. His reflexes are decent. His commanding of air is good. His one-on-ones is good. Unfortunately, his agility is really poor. So if you kick the ball straight at him, he's going to save it. If he's got to bend down for it, nah, not having it. Defence, the best tacklers in the league, the best marking in the league, pretty good heading, decent jumping reach, decent positioning, decent strength. Pace is okay. Good acceleration. Midfield, good tacklers. I'm sensing a 4-4-2 here. Good tacklers. Again, teamwork really low. Technique really low. Vision really low. Passing really low. Stamina really low. The long shots, though, pretty decent. So again, we're not looking at technical players right now. Our attackers, just above average for heading. Above average for anticipation, but not much else, really. Physicals, we've got an average side. Above average fitness and jumping, strength and acceleration, but everything else is below. Mentals, really brave, good leaders, good anticipation, good positioning, good determination. That's good, because determination is one of our things that we actually really like. It's kind of our DNA, to be honest. We look at those sorts of things. So we look at determination, we look at stamina, we look at teamwork, we look at what else do we look at? Sorry, I'd like to pull a play up to see what we go for. So we've got work rate, we've got teamwork, determination, and we've got stamina. They're kind of our sort of like our key metrics, really. And then our technical ability, look at this. Our technical ability, best long throws, the best markers, and the best tacklers, right? We have a cinch team. We've got above average heading. We ain't going to dribble the ball because we've got no one who can dribble. We've got no one who's got a first touch. We can't really take a free kick. And technically, we are shit. So shit. But it sounds like we're going to be all right in a fight. Do you know what I mean? Like, we should be able to rough out a few results here, to be honest. Best long throws with an average of 4.7. Yeah, that's where we are, Lama. That's where we are. So that's the team that we've currently got, right? Bear that in mind. That's what we've currently got. We'll quickly have a look. 90 stains. Party rings? Do you want party rings? We'll go party rings, shall we? Nobody dribbles at this level. They don't want to spill a drop. Exactly, says Leclosian. Rich, my 98-99 Sunderland save is going well. 9 games to go. Second season. 7th in the Premier League. And Kesman is arriving in July. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, if we get DJ and Brentford in here, the league is ours. Okay, so let's see what we got then. So possibly our first choice goalkeeper here. It's Blessing Oliemni. Under 19. Good one-on-ones, good reflexes, good aerial reach. Handling's decent enough for this level, to be honest. Decision-making's fine. Bless you, my child. Bless you, my child. I mean, look. What's not to like? Decent championship player, apparently. Pretty good. Been there a while. Nice. Corey Armour. Handling 14. One-on-ones 12. Aerial reach 13. Bravery 15. Determination 14. Do we have to take our attributes ratings down a smidge as well? Are we happy with where they are with this? Because it seems like it might be just a little bit too high. I think we nudged it up, didn't we? Let's just change that. Where do we do it though? There's a little. Where do we change the attribute colours? Anyone remember? It's under advanced, isn't it? Under skins. That's right. On the type box. Skins, no. Change that again. Just type skin. Oh, that bit there. Right, okay. Got you. So, nudge these down to what? 12, 9, and 7 again? Or 12, 9, and 6? Yeah, it's 12, 9, and 6, isn't it? Yeah. Right, we'll change that to DNA as well. And then we'll be able to work out whether or not these players are of our level or not. So, okay. So, to be fair, as it stands, Corey Armour's actually got a contract as well into next season. He played 15 games last year. So what happened? Did he get injured? Not really. Not really. Just decided against it. Fairly susceptible to injuries, apparently. Player lookup. Who are you after, Rogie? Leading Cinch 2 player. What's the difference then between them two? Because obviously we need to work out whether or not we want to retain Blessing or not. Bobby Wales. Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Miles Bonney's is a player, but I don't know if that's a thing. So yeah, Corey Armour, slightly better mentally, slightly better communication. Blessing, obviously slightly more eccentric. Aerial reach, they're pretty much the same. Shot stopping, Blessing's a little bit better. I mean, we are 32 though now, so we're like 11 seasons in, so there's a possibility, Rogie, because of the fact we've not been in Scotland before, he's gone on to bigger and better things, possibly. Attributes wise, it's looking like Blessing's slightly, but I mean, punches more than he catches. His reflexes are ever so slightly better. His throwing's ever so slightly better. There's not actually a great deal between the pair of them, to be honest. You take out this eccentricity one, which I don't really like. That's better. Well, that's more in favour of eccentricity, which is not ideal. And then, of course, a little bit more punching. So you would say that take those two out. There's not a lot between the pair of them. Even mentally, there's not much. Positioning ever so slightly better. Leadership ever so slightly better. But bravery is better for Corey. And he's more determined. Decision making, again, roughly the same. Composure, concentration, roughly the same. Anticipation, slightly better from Corey. Blessing's a bit more agile. I mean, hey, if we're going in with if we're going at the season with those two, then they're all right for goalkeepers, aren't they? Goals conceded per 90, 1.49 versus 0.7. They've not played the same amount of games, obviously, to be honest. Count your blessings. Yeah. Hello, Bear Hudson, how are you? How did this Saves Oxford journey end? Basically, Oxford ended by me not understanding how FPP works and got myself into a little bit of trouble as the January transfer window opened, and I gave myself a transfer embargo. So I was like, don't really like it around here anyway, so we could leave. And eventually we just decided, it's probably worth leaving. We've done our bit for the Tories. It's now time to go back to our Labour beliefs. So we're up in Scotland now, and figuring that we can just make things a little bit better over at East Fife. Don't worry, you're all the closing. Welcome in. A pleasure to see you. I think you're right. I think if Blessing's happy enough being a backup, then he's definitely worth keeping around. We need to reduce his wage, though. So he's on 210. We want to kind of get that down a little bit because Armour's only 130. So let's try and work out how we can balance that. So there's our two goalkeepers. And we've got a third goalkeeper here, Ewan Harold, who at 25 with an eccentricity of 19. Don't think we're going to be wanting to keep you, to be honest. Leadership of 14, rushing out of 12. He's wanted by Montrose. Mate, I will put you on the train. Like, just away you go. Like, I just can't risk it. He's got to go. Sorry. He might be brilliant, but I can't have eccentricity of 19 at East Fife. Just, I mean, what were they thinking? What were they thinking? It would be fun. It would be fun, Rich. But then there'd be some people, and like most of you would get it and be like, oh yeah, we've not got promoted because we've got this fucking Johnny Madhead in goal. But there is also a part of me goes, we do need to get promoted, and we can't really have Johnny Madhead in goal. So let's see if he wants to leave. So I'm going to put Harold, and I'm going to put Sell next to his name. There's a room for one mad eccentric bastard, and it's the main man and managing the club. Exactly. He'll never get a game in it. He might just come on. That's the problem. He might just turn up the closing. Do you know what I mean? You need to put reins on a toddler to keep him in the box. Exactly. Sports mad. Evening football as well. East Fife 4-4-4-4. It's got to be the thing. It will be. It absolutely will. Pitch invader. Yeah. Under strengths, you've put a bit of a lad. Don't think we need that, to be honest. Sean Valentine. Here we go. Players transfer listed. Doesn't believe he has a long-term future at the club. I mean, that's before I've turned up, Sean. So let's not count your everything so just yet, right? League 2 level player potentially, but can play about where the Highlands are, really, to be honest. All right, he might not be our first choice right back. You can't sell Valentine. I don't want to sell Valentine, to be honest. I want to keep him, but I think he might have to be a backup. You've got a pink kit and he's called Valentine. Oh, yes. Be my Valentine. He's got to stay. He's got to stay. Quinn Winiarski. Oh, here we go. Marks opponents tightly, moves the ball to the right, avoids his weaker foot, refrains from taking long shots. Look at these mentals. This is incredible. Physically, he's awful. He's awful. Can't run. He can just about jump. His technicals aren't brilliant. Good tackling. Marking's okay. He's a fullback and definitely not a wing back, isn't he? Winiarski. I think he's the first choice. I think he's the first choice right back. He's a yoga instructor. Not with those eyebrows, he's not. And that slick back hair. Like, he looks great. He could be a cinch level, a champ player. Okay. Fairly slow, fairly susceptible to injuries. Lack of composure hinders any skill element to his game. Looking at that, he doesn't have any skill element to his game. Former St Johnstone player. 53 grand he cost. What was his stats like last year? He won 34 of his 42 key tackles. His 42 of his 34 of his 42 tackles. Sorry, 2 key tackles. Lost 8. Any FM23 high reputation club suggestions? Oh, mate, Barcelona have got a high reputation. Real Madrid have got a high reputation. PSG have got a high reputation. AC Milan have got a high reputation. Who else has got a high reputation? Brazil, Bayern Munich, loads of them. All the top level clubs. Do you mean in terms of who to manage though? Because that's really sort of like I guess it's dealer's choice, isn't it? Like we tend to manage in the bottom leagues though, TMB. So I appreciate you following in, by the way. Yeah, we tend to go lower leagues, so I couldn't tell you what's fun at the top divisions. There will be some, and I'm sure there's people in the chat who'll be able to sort of say, look, you know what, this is a great save. Ajax, I guess, is quite a good one. PSV, maybe, but I guess it depends upon what you class as high reputation, I guess. Some clubs have got a terrible reputation, you know. Napoli's decent. Scott O'Neill, Lazio have got a reputation. I wouldn't say it's not a good one, but it is a reputation. Scott O'Neill, 6'4", jumping reach of 16, acceleration of 4. Oh dear. Oh dear. I mean, he's not. Yeah. Okay. Centre back, O'Neill. Back up at best. Really. I mean, the thing is, though, his positioning's good, his leadership's good, his determination's good, his concentration's good, his anticipation, his bravery, his aggression, they're all good. Marking good, tackling good. If it, right, okay, try and talk me out of this one, chat. If he's part of a 3, is he an option? Exactly, Sax. Yeah. If you're playing low block, which, you know, we might do at this level, the lack of acceleration isn't going to be a problem. Or am I just a little bit dazzled by the fact that he's got some attributes that fly into greens here? And should I also be looking about the Brora Rangers want him, who are a division below us, and he didn't play last season? Is Scott O'Neill part of a 3? There's a question. I'm going to put a question mark on him, right? He's out of contract tomorrow. So, back 3 shows poor defence centre back. Could be. But I'm just thinking, like, has he got enough? Is there enough in there that, not as a first teamer, but I don't know. Could he be something? Playing a 3 in a lower league, keep a simple flat back 4. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree, to be honest, Sportsmad. I'm inclined to agree. I mean, then look, I mean, you compare him to Jordan O'Neill here, who's 20. His attributes don't look as good initially on the eye, because obviously it's yellows rather than greens. But that 10 of acceleration compared to 4 is eye-wateringly different. It's the equivalent of Bailey Cadamarteri and Aguero up front. Could Cadamarteri have done it in League One? I didn't think so I cut him, and we signed Aguero. Could Scott O'Neill partner Jordan O'Neill and another at centre back? I don't know. Balance isn't great. Agility's not great. Pace is shock. O'Neill's got balanced physicals. Yes. So that's Paul O'Neill. Jordan O'Neill is the guy we want in it. We've got 2 O'Neills. Stays back at all times. Doesn't dive in. He's wanted by Queen of the South for a transfer. We kind of want to build the club around him, don't we? First choice centre back there. By Scott. Do we keep doing it? It's the same. It's always the same. Whenever there's a choice in the chat, should we do this? Everyone goes, let's just keep it 50-50. Let this prick make the decision. Tyler McCafferty. He's in here now. Again, really good concentration. Excellent jumping reach. 6'4". Marking's not very good. Tackling's okay. Work rate's not brilliant. Oh, hang on. There's something you can't see behind my head that might just swing around to make McCafferty a possibility. He's a former Hartlepool player, so therefore he's possibly got links to Banbridge. We don't know. McCafferty. Question mark? Do we like him? We think he's good. He's quick. He's good jumping reach. His tackling's okay. His teamwork isn't brilliant. But keeps it simple. He keeps it simple. He keeps it simple. Jake McDonald was on loan from Dundee. Bravery 20. Oh. Determination, leadership, marking, tackling. Good fitness. Not brilliant jumping, good acceleration. What do you think? Do we try and keep this guy again? I don't think I've seen 20 bravery in this level before. We like him. Yeah, they want this is what we're noticing now, isn't it? Like they're a lot more keen to let these players only have one season and that's it. So yeah, unfortunately, we clicked on McCafferty. They want to get new surroundings. So let's McDonald's. Let's hold fire on him. Right, we can always come back potentially. Right. We might be able to get him. We might be able to get him at the end of the season, at the end of the transfer window. You never know. Coraman, welcome in. Appreciate the follow. Very kind. Jacob Blaney. Bit blur. Maybe. Out on loan at Annan. Did fine in League Two. He's been at East Fife a long time. Backup at best. Do you think? I mean, he's out of contract as well. Evening, Franco. How are you, pal? Welcome in. Things at East Fife are... We're in the admin stream today, so this is the first time we've actually got to sit with the club and have a little look and see what we've got. And we've got the pens and paper out. We've got we're trying to get a plan. So at the minute things are looking not quite desperate, but I think we've just about got a goalkeeper and a right back and a centre back, but we need 2 centre backs. So we have 2 centre backs. Left back. This guy's all right for left back. He doesn't look too bad. 15 for fitness, 9 for marking. He's a backup. He's okay. That's a good piece of advice by Wizard. Don't build your team around backups. I think that was our problem at Oxford. We were building teams around backup players. And I just bought a load of players that were sort of in and around the level of what we had, and if we went back down again, it wouldn't be a problem. That's where I think the problem came from us was, and yeah, didn't work out, did it? To be honest, 33. A lot of players seem to knock the ball past the opponent, but have 4 or less for composure. Do they knock it past and run away? I think they do. I think they absolutely do. Danny Spencer. Look at Danny Spencer. This is the man. Exploring his options at the end of a contract. I don't think so, Danny. I think you're staying, aren't you? Really. Could play a wing. He's out of contract. I'm just going to put sign him up. 16 for pace, 13 for acceleration, 15 for agility. Great physicals on Spencer, says Corriman. Completely agree, Corriman. And I think he's got some really interesting mentals as well. 15 for bravery, 15 for determination. Teamwork. Finally, someone with teamwork in there. Gitos in with 13 months. Appreciate the prime, Gitos. Very, very kind indeed. And look at this. Crossing of 10, which in this division is probably really, really good. Really good. If we're playing a back 5, Danny Spencer is your left wing back. He is, and if we're playing a 4-4-2, he's our left winger. We'll have to have a chat with him though and see if we can convince him to stay. At the minute, he doesn't have a contract. So hopefully we just sort of hope he doesn't leave. I guess we'll have a chat to him and see if we can keep him. But yeah, it might be a bit of an issue, that one. But we will see. Connor Allen, you're a centre half, aren't you? Yeah, let's just tick you. Yeah, he's definitely someone we want to be keeping. Acceleration's good, jumping reach is good, concentration's good, marking, tackling, positioning as well for a centre half. Look at that, 15. Marks opponents tightly. What else have we got here? Poor technique, doesn't enjoy big matches, obviously. Why would they not? Who's our inconsistent player? Spencer. Fairly inconsistent, yeah, but I think we're allowed a bit of flair, right? A bit of flair and a bit of inconsistency won't be the worst thing in the world. Brogan Walls. Doesn't look too bad, actually. For this level, he's got some interesting attributes. I'm going to say passing of 12, dribbling of 12, and composure of 12. And he can play in that DM slot. Vision of 11. DLP, possibly? Jack of all trades, master of none. Fair. Played a lot of games last season, though. 32 games, scored 4, assisted 3. Average rating of 7.9. 84% pass overall. 2 years left on his contract. Yeah. Performed well, got more blocks in, tackles and interceptions, and he won headers. Maybe he's more of a defender. Sorry, average rating of 6.9. Sorry, did I say 7.9? 6.9. Maybe we play him in that DM slot. Like, we play him here. We could play with a segundo. We could play him as a halfback. We could play him as a ball-winning midfielder. We could play him as part of a 2. I mean, let's see what else we've got. We don't know what else we've got just yet, but he's certainly got defensive capabilities. Lots of blocks, lots of clearances, fewer tackles and strong tackles. I don't mind the fact that he's making few tackles if he's blocking more, because that's sort of plays into how we play, really. Cellist, East Fife, what happened? We decided we'd had enough of Torytown, to be honest, and we just left. We went, nah, you know what, we're gone. So we had a little bit of running with FFP, and I made a massive error, and therefore figured it was probably the right time to leave. So we did. We upped to sticks and we've moved to East Fife. So this is the first time we're actually having a look at the club. starting the season. We're in pre-season now, so we're going to have a quick look around, see what we've got, start planning to move forward. Lots of passes, accurate passes, frequently wins the ball, reliable in possession. I think this guy's our defensive mid. Plus, he's been at the club forever. So, yeah, broken walls. Yeah, he's a lock. Okay. The question is, where do we play him? Gavin Webster. Right, now I know a comedian called Gavin Webster. And acceleration of 16, crossing of 5. Passing of 5. Leadership of 15. This guy's just like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Plays short passes, keeps it simple. Yes, because he can't pass. That's why. Knocks the ball past opponents. As you say there was already a question, what happens? Knocks the ball past and then what? Don't know. At this point, Webster, no. Sorry, mate. No good. No. Gotta go. Gotta go. Transfer list Webster. Unlikely to react positively, Well, we'll see. Former Celtic player, apparently. Yeah, we'll get him gone. We'll get him gone. There was never loads of defenders. I'll tell you when this country went to shit, when I got sold from East Fife. There's more of a DM than a winger. Yeah, probably. Look at this guy. Hamish Mears. You couldn't move for Segundo Volantes. That's a joke between me and Mrs. Jager, and I'm not sure how many people are getting it, but I'm having a great time doing it. He's off to Queen of the South, so he's already moving. So we don't need to worry about him and his mohawk that he appeared to have still just bleached the bits of hair that used to be there. So, fine. Any place from Bahrain. It's all very local, Mrs. J, very local. Well, stop doing it then. Rich Wood. Evening, Chazzy D. How are you, pal? Welcome, Dan Reese, as well, of course. And 1013 Lifes. Welcome in. Appreciate the follow. Rich Wood, however. Hello, Rich Wood. Technique of 15. Flair of 15. Determination of 15. That's the enemy of poorer paper. Good call using the short name of Richard. Oh, God. Oh, he can't be called Dick 2x4, can he? He can't. We're going to have to keep him just for comical purposes. I'm just going to keep for lols. Oh dear. Who has 40,000 channel points and wants to rename this guy? He needs a newer name. We can't call him Rich Wood. I think he's on loan. He's on loan from Dundee. It's fine. He's on loan. He's not our player. Right? Okay. Can he stay? No. Oh, right. Don't worry about Dick Wood then, right? Ben Duncan, not one of ours. Don't have to worry about that either. Stuart Heenan. A poacher. He's been out at Albion Rovers, finishing 12, first touch 13, off the ball 11, acceleration 14, only scored 5 goals in Division 2 last season. That's not a lot, is it? It's not a lot. Mr. Ryo Mayo, welcome in. Snazzy kits at the new club. Oh, you better believe it. We've got some lovely kits. After you're done with squad analysis, I'm looking for a good new gen in your youth team, please. I mean, yeah, I appreciate good being the operative word here, Raju. We will certainly get as best as we can. I mean, look at this guy. Laurie Harden at Hearts. Oh, beautiful. AMC, yes, please. Shame we can't keep him, though. Rogie, have a word at Hearts. See if you can get him in. 20, I've made a clip. Oh dear. What have I said? What have I said? Got a feeling this is going to be about Dick Wood, isn't it? Let me check. That's fine. That's fine. We can do that. Don't worry about Dick Wood. There was another player we tried to get called Wood as well, didn't we? But that was way back, wasn't it? Actually, Gary Barmer, he's one of ours. Where's Barry Hercules? Barry Hercules actually might be half decent in this universe, Mrs. J. So we'll have a quick look. Still Oxford. He's not even any good for. He's still not any good. I'll shortlist him for you. I'll see if I can bring him in, but I'm not sure if they're going to be what they're going to think about him. Passing and teamwork and vision's very good, though. It's everything else. That aggression of 17 is definitely you. Gary Balmer is out of contract as a winger, apparently. 1013 Live, so I'm doing British Steel as well. Currently in Wales, but with TNS, but only need to win the MG Cup. Nice work, well done. We are so far. We're 11 seasons in. This is what we've done so far. We've only won. So we've won 8 trophies. I say only. We've won 8. 8 out of 30. 8 out of 11 seasons isn't too bad, to be honest. Northern Ireland's been fine for us. The Danske Bank Premiership, the Loft 41 Premier Intermediate, the Antrim Shield, the McCombs Coach Travel Intermediate Cup, the Middlester Cup, all in the bag. League 2, the Vanarama National League and the FA Trophy with Oxford. And of course now just moving into Scotland. And of course in yellow, these are the titles we can go for here. The League 1, the Scottish Cup, the Premier Sports Cup and the SPFL Trophy. Meanwhile, I come back to Gary Balmer and I think Balmer is fine. Maybe. Acceleration of 14. Dribbling of 10. Crossing of 7 is not brilliant. First touch is 10. He's okay. He's all right. He's a backup, maybe. I guess if we don't re-sign... who is it? Spencer, then he's okay. He's fine. Most important, the whole journey has been a lot of fun. Yes, that is the most important journeys are. To be honest, that is the most important journey. The most important thing is that it's been fun. Hello, Stephen McBride. Here we go. Finally. Finally, we've got a player. McBride. Poacher, yes. Runs down the ball with the wing and cuts inside. Man's indecisive. I'm in. I've got to go back inside quick. Yeah. This will do. Steve McBride seems fine. 15 goals in all competitions last season. Finishing at 13. Composure of 15. Off the ball 13. Teamwork 16. Plays with his back to goal as well. So actually can play as a deep line forward if needs be. Interesting. My British Steel is now 17 out of 35 as a closing. Fun season with Dundee United in the Championship. League and Cup double. Lovely. 57 Mac 57, welcome in. Appreciate the follow. And safe Tuss, of course. Tuss, how has everyone's days been? All good. All good, thank you, Tuss. We're having a great time here. And this is Derek Mackay, who again is another poacher by all accounts. Only 8 goals though for Mackay. So he probably needs a little bit more. He's back up, isn't he? Backup striker at this point. So it looks like we have got the sort of club we expect, really. Not a huge amount of talent in there. Let's have a quick look at the development centre in the under-18s, though. Work out whether there's any players that Rajo can cash in for, or any players we can move in the first team because we might need them right now. So Finley Duffy, 15 years old, could be all right. maybe. Callum Campbell, another DLF, 15 years old. First touch is good. Teamwork's very good. Determination's good. Good balance. So, yeah, maybe he is a DLF. Possibly. Interesting to see what he's got. Dennis Kavanagh, right back. Actually, he's not too dissimilar to the right back we've got. Really. He's not a million miles off. He's only 5'2", though. Mark Owens, an Australian, 6'3", 17 years old, 18 for jumping reach, 12 for free kick taken. Okay. Interesting. Mark Owens could be a very interesting player. Evan Armstrong, 18 for aggression, 12 for heading. Did I hear Michael Owen? Love a bit of Mark. Yes, we do. Is Darryl Strawberry worth it? Okay, Nige. I hear you. Work rate of 14, flair of 12. Actually, he's not too bad either, is he, to be honest? Can we check where he's born? Mark Owens is Katanning. I'm not sure which part of Australia that is, but it's definitely Australia rather than Scotland. Unambitious, apparently. We'll cash in, do it. Could it be magic? It could well be magic. It could be magic. In fact, actually, speaking of magic, we do have to redeem a line. Czar, give me a number. Between 1 and 331, and there's actually some pages that we are aware that we've read already. It only takes a minute, yeah. Well, other Mrs. J, you know loads of Take That songs. You tell us these. Or we could do Each Night is Pray. 328. Don't. Is this a page we've already read? Oh, it might not be. Right, this could be a decent one here. Okay. Hang on. Let's do this very quickly. Pause that for a second. Go to the big screen. I'll grab that in a second, Friendly Ghost. Penalties. Again. As I lifted my right leg to take my penalty, I felt a spasm of cramp, which is why I scuffed it down the middle. You can see that as I walked back to the halfway line. I had to keep stopping to stretch my hamstrings. I had two options: stand there and stretch quickly, or lie down and wait for someone to carry me back, which would have been a bit embarrassing. Until you've had it, you don't know how painful cramp can be. I mean, he's right. You don't know just how painful cramp can actually be. Everyone who's English knows that David and Darius are the two who missed for us. David's standing foot slipped in the loose turf and his spot kick ballooned over the bar. In training the previous day, he had done exactly the same thing. His standing foot had given away in identical circumstances, leaving a massive divot. As I've said before, there's always an inquest into why we've been eliminated from a tournament, and David and the manager took most of the stick this time. Ericsson was criticised for being too negative after we scored. Again, I say in his defence, he was telling us to squeeze out and push up, to get the ball and pass it more. In short, to attack. If the players don't do that, he can't be held responsible. So, I think we all have to just take a moment there to consider I've never had cramp before. And now I think this is potentially the most painful thing that anybody can ever go through is cramp. And for me, there's just not enough done in the world. Who is raising awareness for cramp? Do you know what I mean? Like, where is it? Where, like, there should be posters everywhere telling people to remain hydrated, otherwise they will cramp up. You know, don't have so much salt. It's not good for you. I just don't. If only he knew. If only someone had warned Michael Owen of the pain of cramp. Then maybe maybe England would have had a trophy, but that's all on you lot. You didn't tell him. You never told Mike Malone about cramp. You just let him go along, with his reasonable level of hydration. He didn't know he had to be drinking so much that he was almost a lizard. It's all on you lot. All on you lot. And for that, I will actually have some water just in case I cramp up, because that would be a beautiful irony, right? Everyone should drink some water right now. Do not suffer. Do not suffer like Michael Owen suffered. I would hate to think that any of you are sat at home right now cramping up, because we'd have to send for an ambulance. Clearly. Does salt help cramp? I don't know. I always thought salt would dry you out, but I mean, it does hurt, but he's a fucking footballer. Like, no footballers actually get cramp, really. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a professional footballer, you should not be getting cramp. Nobody gets cramp, really. Sorry. Sparkling water could do... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you get cramp, you drink sparkling water. That's the thing. Too much salt gives you cramp, says Mrs. J. There you go. See? So, the questions come from... friendly ghost. Ellie Gibson is doing a 24-hour charity stream for premature babies. Can you rate her after your stream? Yes, absolutely, of course you can. Ghost, that's a charity that's very, very close to our hearts. For those of you who don't know, by the way, that our youngest child was 7 weeks premature, so we always do something around Premature Baby Day, which is in November. November the 17th, actually, if you want to put it in your diary, we'll do some stuff for that as well. So, yeah, absolutely. Ping me Ellie's username or whatever it is on login, and we'll make sure we go and raid there. So 100% we'll do that, absolutely. And if there's a charity stream, do of course try and support that as well. That'll be awesome. So we will definitely go and do that. Cool, love it. All right, that's tonight sorted out. I'll take the very small right back, please. Okay, of course, yeah, we'll do some Football Manager as well, don't we? Yeah. So once we finish some Football Manager, we'll then go and do some raiding and stuff. Lalana had a problem where he's sweating excessive salt, which caused him to cramp. I mean, again, I don't really think it's real, though, is it? Salt helps. Cramp is the lack of conductive materials in the muscle causing it to contract. There you go. You learn something every day. But still, Michael Owen's a pussy and he can't take a penalty. So you want the right back, says Raggio. Who was the right back? Dennis Kavanagh. Okay, what food-based punny guns? Colin Skink. Beautiful, beautiful. And Colin Skink is wonderful. Absolutely stuff. Right, you can go away, whoever you are. Someone's just being a bit of a fanny, decides to show up. So no, get rid of you. So he's in there. That's gone. What else have I missed? There's a question about the Australian lad, wasn't there? Interesting to see a lot of new gens born there. Katang is a very small town in the outback with a population of 4,000. Okay, cool. That'll be it then. So, yeah. So, basically, everyone who is from Katang becomes a footballer in the future. So, that's what happens. That's what happens out there. Right. Darryl Strawberry. Valued at £1 million? Oof. He'll be a loanee if we can get him in. We'll definitely look to do that, Nige. See what we can do. Who else do we have? We had Frankie Marmalade as well. It's currently a Barrow on loan. On loan. I think Chevron was getting too many games at St Mirren, so I think he's going to probably want to stay. I mean, look at that. Transfer value, 8 million to 10 now. Like, we need to get this to St Mirren pretty quickly and manage Chevron, because he looks good. He looks very, very good. Yeah. So, what we need to do now then, let's do the other bit we haven't done just yet. Let's have a look at the tactics, shall we? What are we thinking? Does it need a pull? How many 4s and 2s are we going to put into this formation, do we reckon? Is it 4-4-2? Is it literally that simple? Are we just going to go 4-4-2? Or are we going to keep with the Oxford formation that sort of seemed to work pretty well until that final moment? 4-4-2. I think that's probably the best way to do it, isn't it? Let's have a little look. So we'll go into what we had for our... So this is what we had with... in Northern Ireland, was our basis of 4-4-2. Controlled possession football. Positive. We played shorter. We played out of defence. We worked the ball in the box. Slightly lower tempo. We took short kicks, distributed the ball to the centre-backs. Mid-block. Quite fancy for us, to be honest. Yeah, definitely not high tempo because we don't want to be losing the ball. To be honest, we don't want to lose the ball and then have to struggle to get it back. But that seems like a reasonable setup. So far, I've done about a Mazzala and a Carrier, maybe a little bit too extravagant for us, hence why it's classed as fancy. But let's see what we can also have with other 4-4-2s. We've got 4-4-2 cautious, which I think is, again, probably a little bit too fancy, really. Just seeing what else we've got in our midst. The final roll of the dice. What was that? That was ball winning midfielder and a CM. Very basic tactic with a low block would be worthy of being called no cramp football. That could be it. That could be it. Where's our proper DM? Final roll of the dice 4-4-2. That's not it, is it? We had a proper DM one, didn't we? When we were in Banbridge for a little bit. That looked pretty good. And it was a nice sort of like, we sat with two DMs in there. No, it's not that. Tony's cramp breaking 4-4-2, yeah. Complete with brand new thumbnail like that. Who are you going to call cramp busters? Right. So we could play it like this, right? We could play it like this. We could play it with put a winger on attack there. That sort of seems to be a standard way of doing stuff. I think if we were to go with what we've got so far, so we would say Armour in goal. Right back is Winiarski. Centre backs will be O'Neill and I guess Allen or McCafferty possibly. We put Allen or where's McCafferty? Probably Allen. Left back be Colton. Actually, is he leaving? Where's Colton going? No, he's one of ours. That's fine. He can stay. How good are the forwards? Well, we've got one forward who's very good, and then we've got one forward who we need to buy, basically. There's too much salt in your neighbourhood. Who are you going to call? Cramp busters, yeah. We need another midfielder, don't we? That's the thing. We need another centre midfielder. That's highlighted an issue straight away. Wide midfielder on the right. We don't really have one. Wide midfielder on the left is Danny Spencer, if we can convince him to stay. Up front is McBride. I guess Barmer could play there if needs be. We definitely need a better striker than Barmer. I think McBride's good enough, but I think he needs someone with him as well, really. I think 15 and 41, it's okay, but you know, we need better. Balmer, I don't think is a DLF really. He could play on the right, cut in. He's got acceleration. He's got dribbling. His first touch is fine. His off the ball's good. You know, he goes down the right. He cuts inside. He could play there. Yeah, that would work. He probably fits better there. Whether that means we then go to that, you know, that's going to depend on a lot of stuff. Whether we go slightly more asymmetric or then we just get a little bit more crazy with it. So that's sort of the basic of what we've got, really. Well, we're trying to get Bailey in though, Barton. We've applied to get him on trial. So literally, we haven't even clicked anywhere yet. This is where we are with day one, right? I don't really know whether or not this is going to be. Pedro is out of contract in December, so again, we'll look to have a quick little look and see if Pedro's an option. I need to see whether or not let's clear that, actually. It's got to be another one of those tactics that I've got in. There was the low block with the what was Dungannon when he went? Yeah, right. Yeah, that'll do. Right. Yeah, so that was it. DM and a ball in a midfielder. That's what we're looking at there. Wonder if Barton would come in on loan. Which Barton? Who do we have as Barton on loan? Which one? Joey? No. Which one? Kalani? These guys can't run, no. Oh, you're Warren Barton, of course. Yes, you're Warren Barton, wasn't it? Unlikely with that wage, I would say. Out of contract though. You didn't get any football. Right back's not massively where we need to improve, but we can certainly have a little look. So Winiarski would be swapped there. McBride is a winger, is a forward, sorry, so he goes there. Spencer goes there. Colton is a left back, so he goes there. Walls would have to go there. And Balmer would go there, I guess. I think we need wide players. So straight away, without looking at anything else, we need at least two more central midfielders. Okay, at least. Okay, and that's going to be a mixture. So a mixture of defensive players, bit of creativity up front, in that's who can play in the AMC role if needs be. We can then drop a player in. We can drop into the Oxford formation if needs be. That's a thing we can possibly do. Look at sort of how these players move throughout those formations as well. We need a striker, at least one striker, probably two. We could do with a winger. At least one winger. And that's the very, very minimum that we need to be looking at. If we're here to stay, let's get young guys so we can get into the Premier League with them. Yeah, I think there's definitely a thought process there that we can do this. I think if we think about it logically, right? Like, what can we do? Can we make this team happen? Maybe. We're gonna have to recruit really, really smartly. Really smartly. You know, that's what it's gonna come down to. So let's have a very, very quick look. Who's recommended here? Okay. Charlie Lyon, interesting, right? Let's find out what he's about. So, first thing I think we need to do then is Look at who's out of contract. I think there's more than one transfer period to make it good, but you could go far with this. Maybe. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself just yet, but you might be right. There might be a thing where we sort of go, you know what, this is actually going to be something we can sit ourselves off on, and we can start to build it, and we can work it, you know? Kean Leslie there, for example. I know this is the division below, but 7 goals, 10 goals, 4 goals, 6 goals, 3 goals, 7 goals. Out from the wing, 3 assists. What's he like? He's out of contract. Can we trial him in? Possibly. Is Kean your boy, is he? Rogie? Oh, he's Killy. He's Killy, of course he is. Would he be worth a shout? At 27, 5'4", good dribbling, decent acceleration, agility, really good pace, work rate's good. Like, would we be okay there? 5'4", jumping reach of 1.1 to 6. Yeah, but we're going to play him on the wing. We're not going to play him as a wide target man, I'm guessing. Ben McPherson is a right back. Clyde, Finley Marshall. Finley Marshall doesn't look too bad, does he? Again, let's get a scout report on him, I think. Stephen Warnock's still cutting about, the Scottish one, not the English one. At Queen of the South, he is. 2 more years left on his contract, though. It's going to be a little while. Bado, let's have a little look. Who you looking at? Sean Clark. He's got quite a few greens in there. Sterling, Dumbarton, Kilmarnock again. More Killy players. Is Finley Robertson still kicking about? Let's have a look. No, unfortunately not. Where was he playing? Finley Robinson is now the head of development at Colwyn Bay, but I think he's a new gen, sadly, so. Yeah, afraid not. Bado. John Paul Corrigan. I think he starts at Dundee. Okay. We'll keep our eyes out for him in other saves, I think. What about Sterling? Currently plays at Ayr. Jack Brown. 30. Logan Ross. Do we need another goalkeeper? I think goalkeepers were actually relatively okay for, aren't we? Reading 33. Harrison Sharp's another goalkeeper. I'm just very quickly looking at players who are out of contract, really. This in the next couple of days. I suppose first thing we need to do is try and lock Danny Spencer down, don't we? Okay, he seems happy enough with that. Sorry, I had a sneeze there. Sorry about that. Oh, hang on. Pin message there from Rogie. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I've already read it. Sorry. Right, star player for Danny Spencer. That sounds about right, doesn't it? Look that down a smidge as well. Will he do 250? Cool. Right, so Interestingly as well, is that they're saying he's the left back. Ben Duncan's our left back. Oh, no, not our left back. Colton's our left back. We could play Spencer as a left wing back, right? Like Spencer could sit there. We can get him then bombing up. He's probably better as a wing back on attack, isn't he? And then we buy a left winger. Would that be better? Runs down the left, gets forward. So if we were to put Spencer, wing back attack, there, we could then have a winger on support here, which allows him to go up and round and play on the overlap. I'm just thinking out loud, Zar. I'm just thinking out loud. Right? Okay. He's better than Colton. I'm just saying, if we find a left winger who's just as good as Spencer, we could move him backwards, is all I'm saying, right? I've been criticised in the past for being too dinosaur-y, about not wanting to try things, So I'm just having a look at it and being like, I wonder, I mean, we could maybe have him as a complete wing back on support. Again, that would allow him to move up and about. But just saying, sign Pulisic to play double Segundo Volante. Could do. Ida Sebastian, bonsoir. Hope you're well. I mean, he is better, but he didn't drink enough to tell water to avoid cramp. Triple Segundo Volante. What about Esol Sule? Don't know if he's still about. Esiosa Sule? I'm not sure. No, afraid not. 3-4-3. You're talking crazy, Monty Crammer. We're in the Cinch League One, so I'm already getting told that I'm crazy for considering playing with a wing back. So, although what's interesting though is that this club went on a 5-game winning streak towards the back end of the season. So they are capable of putting some performances together. So there is that to look at. Let's have a quick little nosy. Is there any players that we can look at who are maybe transfer listed, possibly strikers? There's not many there. Listed for loan, we could always get someone in who's better on loan. An idea for the RDF, play a left wing back, have an anchor next to him and a shadow striker up front. I mean, that's like space stuff, isn't it, for this division. I don't think we're anywhere near that level of intricacy just yet. At the minute, I'm thinking we just need players who can run. Really, I need players who can run and players who can cross. If they've got any element of ability, we will bat that out of them as quick as we can. we will have to knock that out of them quickly, going, I don't know where you learned that skill from, but you're going to have to stop it, mate. We need to get you to get the ball either to the byline and ping it along the floor or whack the ball from deep, right? So let's have a little look. We'll get a bit of flair. Don't worry, we'll sort something. It won't be as agricultural as everyone thinks it's going to be. There'll be a little bit of something interesting in there. We'll play some nice football. But at the minute, let's just have a little bit of a look around and see what there is. Because I'm guessing we're not going to be having a great amount of talent available to us straight away. And we are going to have to be really sort of specific with the players that we want to go for first. As I say, these key positions, midfield definitely. So we want obviously a DM and we want an AM as well. 2 strikers, a winger possibly. If we have a look at the players who are out of contract then, so we were going to go with Barry Maguire. 5-player loan limit. 34, Barry Maguire's not a bad shout actually, 500 quid. Former Motherwell. We remember him. He's not a world beater. He's certainly good enough, though. He's certainly good enough. And again, I'm not massively against a couple of slightly older players here as well. So let's look at players that we're gonna let leave as well. Remember, so all of our loanees are on their way out. Obviously, Blessing. Are we gonna try and keep him for another season? I think we thought if he's accepting backup, he'd be happy, wouldn't it? Would he be? If we can lower his wage, he wants to serve as deputy to first choice, that's fine. Right, let's move that down, though, because I don't want to be... Oh, he's already taken a wage drop. Good. Let's get that out there. Oh, we can't keep... There you go. If he wants that extra money, I'm taking the unused substitution off. I'm not spending another 20 quid on him every single week when he's not playing. We need to save that money. That is a useful tip that was in the Football Manager show last week. If you didn't listen to it, you should do. It's podcast. It's very good. The team, Sebastian, is East Fife in Scottish League One, so 3rd division of Scottish football. They narrowly avoided relegation. Well, they were bottom when we took over, but we agreed to wait until the end of the season, and they miraculously finished 6th. Sorry, so they got themselves out of the relegation battle. We've joined in now, and we're looking to get ourselves sorted. What did we think with Scott O'Neill? Is he going? Is Scott O'Neill just getting cut? He probably is, isn't he? I don't know. I'm torn. I wonder why. We probably can find better. I think I'm just being dazzled by these greens, to be honest. I think these issues here are too much to ignore. Acceleration, agility, balance, pace, they're really, really bad for me. Marking and tackling and positioning, though, I just sense he's going to make too... Is he going to make too many mistakes? The Scott O'Neill fan club will remember this day. I'm just curious. I'm curious as to why. And I guess we probably already know the answer. Why have they brought him in and not played him? Is it because he's not good enough? Is that why he's on his way out? He's got jumping reach of 16. If he sits, could we play him as a DM? Right, hear me out here. Hear me out. Okay? Already says no. But no, literally, his tackling and his marking, though, and his positioning, and his jumping reach. He's got 16 for leadership. He's strong. He's got stamina. He'll get burned by snails running past him. He needs a manager that has faith in him. Be that manager. Acceleration of 4 is awful. It really is. Passing of 5 is awful. Let's face it, he's crap. I know. But I just feel like he's the underdog. Decisions of 6. I feel like this is my problem as well. I think I'm taking this in. Composure of 5. I mean, he's out of contract tomorrow. Like, he's not really good enough, is he? He's not. There we go. It's the first difficult decision we've had to make of the East Fife era. I mean, he probably won't even be leaving the club till the start of the season. Like, it's going to take him. It's going to take him 5 days to get out. I know, Rogie, and I wanted it to be. He's the only player we've released as well. He's the only player I've physically released, and I've looked at and went, you're going. Average rating of 630. It's not bad for a player who didn't play. You know? You and Harold, we've said he can go actually, so that's fine. Okay, out you go as well then. You might see him again in the Cymru South. There's a thing, Raju, yeah. 100%. Who's the captains, by the way, at the club? Let's work that out before I start upsetting people. Gavin Webster's the club captain. We're getting him gone. Because I don't think he's good enough, actually, Webster. He's quick, but I don't think there's anything else in there, really. That's not going to endear us to the fans either, is it? Get rid of the captain. But look, he's just not good enough, is he? Really? Blessing's the vice captain. And they're saying give it to Winiarski, who's actually going to play. I guess that's the thing. We're going to upset a whole bunch of people, aren't we? Although it could cause unrest, Winiarski is a slightly better choice for vice captain than Blessing. Quinn's presence on the pitch cannot be overstated. It's probably right, actually. Do I come in and just make wholesale changes? Am I taking the vice captain's thing off? Let's move on for a minute, right? I'm not going jumping straight in and changing everything right now. You know who had a presence on the pitch? I know. He was a massive presence, literally massive. What have I done? I'm already worried that I've made the wrong decision. Graham Murty is a possible director of football. The mayor of Methill. What have I done? Mark Smith, head of youth development. Look at this. Working with youngsters, judging ability, motivating, people management, tacticals. Let's have a look at our staff, actually. What have we got? We've got 2 coaches. Our coaches aren't great compared to the rest of the league. We don't have a physio. We don't have any scouts. We could do with a scout. Let's at least get a scout in. They'd like us to get a director of football. We can have a director of football. Sorry, let me rephrase that. We can have a director of football. Tony Mowbray, possibly. And a head of youth development we can get as well. So, Mark Smith's not the worst looking head of youth development. What's that say there? Cliftonville. Okay. Graham Murty. Why am I thinking, Rogie, that there's something wrong with Graham Murty? What do I know about Graham Murty that I'm not supposed to like? Apart from the fact he played for Rangers, obviously. Is there anything else I'm supposed to know about? One of the funniest Rangers managers of all time. Never been more out of his depth. Perfect for us then. In you come. Should we make him director of football? Because I think that sounds funny. Derek Allen. Not sure. Scott Fulton is a physio. He's not going to 8 for physiotherapy. Jamie Kilpatrick, 6. Great. Graham Murray is the current under-21 Sunderland manager, rumoured to be about to be appointed Oxford manager. In your save or in ours, because he was there, wasn't he? In 2022, took up the position of under-21 manager. Yeah, there you go. Is Michael Owen available? No, he's an author. He's an author. Oh, in real life. Oh, okay. Excellent. Right, Charlie Lyon has agreed to come on trial. Warren Barton says no. Barton says no. Cian Leslie says yes. Sean Clark says yes. Bailey Cadamarteri says no to a trial. Bailey Cadamarteri doesn't think much of himself, does he? Right. How much are we going to pay Bailey Cadamarteri? Just think of a figure right now. Stick it in the chat as to what you think is a reasonable wage for Bailey Cadamarteri. Is this man going to fire us up from League One? He scored goals. He scored goals at Linfield. He scored goals at Oxford. But then he couldn't get into the team when it got towards the Football League. You don't know the budget. Our budget is probably fine. We can budget $8,500 a week. And we're currently paying $5,500 a week. If he starts coming in with like $1,000, he ain't getting it. £200 a week part time. A 1-year deal. Can we get him at 170, do you reckon? Bailey Cadamarteri could be coming in. Okay, we're starting something. We're starting a plan, right? Charlie Lyon got potential, a lot of potential. Look at this guy. What are they talking about here? Doesn't like the big matches. Of course he doesn't. Nobody does. Gets forward whenever possible. Looks for the pass. Plays Mazzala. Can play in that deeper position if needs be. Passing and vision. That's not DLP, is it? That's just a normal central midfielder, really. At 22, though. It's not a bad midfielder in there, I guess. Cian Leslie. Looks reasonable. Looks reasonable. And then Sean Clark. Again, I'm being dazzled by greens, aren't I? At this point, that's going to be the worry. Maybe. Blessing has agreed a 1-year deal. That's good. So he's going to stay for a little bit. Ability to the unexpected. Does he start singing during the game? Yeah, he's a faith healer as well, so that's pretty impressive. He's also doubles up as the physio. Performs miracles and healings. Harvey Gilmore, did Scott O'Neill change his name to get back in the squad? Yeah, he's straight back in now. He's called Blessing. We are, for the questions that were asked earlier on, by the way, we are a semi-pro club. Yeah, semi-pro. So training should be fairly simple. Do a shift and then go and play some football. That shouldn't be too tricky. Squad dynamics. We don't mess around with that. Don't mess around with that. Don't make me feel bad for Scott O'Neill. But I know that I should feel bad because it is my fault. And I have to accept that. Where's Steam Power? Has he left? Or is he still at Oxford, maybe? They train less than you stream. That's true, actually. For Scott O'Neill. Sorry, Rogie. The Banbridge manager's left. You can see Scott Lee joining the stream. I can see it as well. That's the problem. And he's not even real, and I can still see him being part of it. DJ Pedro still banging the goals in left, right, and centre. He's got 101 in 289. I feel like he should be a one-club man, really. Rory McConville. Marks opponents. Doesn't dive into tackles. Barely runs with the ball. Because he can't. And he's no good at dribbling. 6'3". Poor technique. Doesn't feel comfortable in big matches. He's still on the shortlist. Maybe. We missed out on a sell-on from Stephen Watson. 19 at 6'3". What have we missed out on here? Should we bring him in to see? East Fife released 5 players. None of those players more sad than Scott O'Neill. Poor Scott O'Neill. I do feel bad that he went. You know, they had to go though, didn't he? Really, if you think about it, like, in a sense, I guess. I don't really know. I guess we have a quick look then at the players that have been released. Can you follow him so we know what happened to him? Yes, we can actually. We can keep our eyes on him, right? Follow his journey. I mean, he might be real. That's the problem. Is he real? Does he play for Hamilton in real life? I don't think he's real, so we're okay. Yeah, with his place, it'll take him 2 years to get out of Fife. Yeah, oh, I know that. I know Rogue. I know it's unlikely that he's going to be real, but it would just be my luck, wouldn't it? He'd come to Wales this later. Yeah. Sean Macbeth. Here we go. 17 for finishing. Pace, determination, off the ball. Wanted by 17 clubs. This is the sort of player we're looking at. From Celtic. Can't even bring the idea of a trial in. Just stick him in as a star player. Is he a star player? He probably is, isn't he? Really? Are we going straight for star? I mean, you're right. He probably hasn't got any interest in playing for us at all. But imagine O'Neill, important player. He'll be carried by his feet. Yeah. Oh, he hasn't scored any goals. He doesn't need to. He's played for Celtic. 10 and 31 for Ayr in the Championship actually. So that's pretty decent. Let's go with him. He will be Billy Big Bollocks. Like 250 relegation release clause. What about a striker from Northern Ireland? Yes, that's a good shout, Dennis. That's a very good shout actually. Give him a yearly wage rise or take it down. 10's enough. Innit? Or get rid of it. I mean, it's in there now, so he ain't coming anyway. He ain't coming. Who was it? It was Glenn Torren, wasn't it? There he is. Lloyd Lewis. First teamer. Worth keeping his eyes on though, because he might stop playing for them. Anyone at Linfield that we can maybe go back in for as well. Kieran Evans is... Oh, that's different. I thought for a second that the centre-half was like 30. I was like, we haven't played this game long enough that our new gen is now 30, surely. That doesn't make any sense at all. In fact, where have players gone? Kieran Evans, 24 at Waterford. Warren Point, sorry. Maybe. Even Rada, how are you, pal? Welcome in. Stephen Watson's rejected a trial. That's fine. Jameson to meet the media. Here we go. This is an honour that comes with great responsibility. No, we're not Rada. We're at East Fife now. We've left Oxford, and we decided to move north of the border. So if you talk about your previous job, you chose to resign. There's no regrets. There's no regrets. You spent a little time away from football. It's imperative to get back. Landed on my feet. Someone suggested you've taken a big step down by joining East Fife. I don't think we are. It's insulting. Where did it go wrong for your predecessor, Tony Watt? I mean, it's not for me to talk about that, is it? Let's be honest. We can make improvements. Will we go going back to our old club for the backroom staff? Nope. What's your opinion of the long-term success? We've got a plan. You spent too much time on So Rare. Exactly. 1 foot in prison at Oxford. Is Stuart O'Kane still at Linfield? Let's have a look, shall we? Fans are a massive part of success. Is Gavin Webster the sort of player you'll build the club around? Not really, but we're going to say okay. Let's get some new faces in. Kane Leslie could well play. Will you keep in Jordan O'Neill? Jordan O'Neill will definitely stay, yeah. Yeah. The other one, don't mention the other one, by the way. Right, let's have a look. Stuart O'Kane. Striker, 21. How is he for you, Nige? Is he top draw? Obviously, you were there. Tony Watt as a Rolling Stone. At least they didn't ask why Scott had to leave. They did. Yeah, they. I think if anything, I think they knew as well. I think they were like, it's probably, at least he's got the balls to do it. You know what I mean? Either that or he still hasn't actually left yet. They're like, oh, we'll ask in a few weeks when he actually gets out of the car park. Should we look for some players that have been released at this point as well? Because Gary Fleck seems fairly decent. Compensation, though. Michael McLennan, not great. Logan Ross, do we need a new goalkeeper? His third choice behind Bailey and Daniel Lewis. Slander of the Mayor of Meth Hill, the Emperor of East Fife. Old Senior Senator Stovey's over there. I don't really know if Logan Ross is enough of a step up in goal. Look, I know we're having a bit of a laugh, but I am genuinely thinking I may have made a mistake. Logan Ross is impeccably bald. You, sir, are impeccably bald. Couldn't be more bald if you tried. Literally, like the baldest thing I've ever seen. Like, we joke about a bald person looking like an egg, but you genuinely look like an egg, sir. Well played. Kudos to that. Sean Macbeth. Oh yeah, we've been in for Sean Macbeth already, haven't we? We're in Scotland, rather. We're in Scotland. We've left to join East Fife. Sorry, I think I was starting to try and tell you, and I got slightly sidetracked by the press conference. Troy Edney, where's he come from? Inverness, Cali. I mean, again, we should probably be taking a little nosy there, shouldn't we? See who these players have pulled up as options. Leon Charnley. Is he decent? Is he not? Not sure. Take a little look. Callum Lamb. Doesn't look like he's got any pace for it, does he? Shade O'Dowd. A lot of these players are just going to be guesses. Aaron Ramage, however. Trial you as well. 6'3" fullback. Bailey Elphinstone. There's a striker called Burrell in Scotland somewhere. It was in my Falkirk save. He was on my Falkirk life insurance. Let's have a look. Shall we? Lewis McMurray. Roman Burrell. Wasn't he the guy we had at York? There you are, Kelty Hearts boy. Did we not have him at York last season? Contract 34. So I don't know if he's going to be coming to us, but handy enough. He had a fairly shot finishing. We scored like fuck. Not this season. Two goals and 28 substitute appearances. So didn't seem to get in the side, did he? Gabe Forsyth. Acceleration. He's not got the physicals, has he really? Has he? He's not. No, I'm going to try and ignore all this. Let's trial him in, but I'm not sure he's good enough. I don't think the recommendation's right. Adam Hinselwood. The possible air player. Decision 16. Yeah. couple of nice attributes in there. I'm like, it's like I don't want to be, you know, when you're sort of like, I don't just want it to be the. You know, I got rid of a player who had good decision making, but slow as shit. So I want to make sure that what I'm doing is correct. You know, we're going to trial a whole load of players, see what we've got. Chris Levy. Doesn't look too bad as well, actually. Stuart Henderson. What about Kelty Hearts and former team? So that's probably a division below us, I think, isn't it? Ross Lyon. Real. Don't hate him. Team needs an injection of pace. Agreed. We need a bit of pace, a bit of creativity. Some sort of goal presence, goal threat would be nice as well. Again, he looks good, but he's lacking pace, isn't he? EJ Com. Take all these boys on trial and see what we've got. Build the best of the unemployed. Yeah, 100%. Right. Bailey Elphinstone. Backup fullback. I don't even think he's that good. I don't think he's good enough to be a backup fullback. I think he played 4 times in League One. It's not really going to work, is it? Oh, Jordan, it's an absolute banger of a kit. It's a banger. Wait until you see the other ones as well, by the way. Look at them. I mean, we're sponsored by the taxi centre in Fife. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've fallen on our feet here. This, I think, is it like a shed or something, maybe, for the third kit? But, yeah, proper tartan, orange tartan kits. Like, sort of honey yellow, I think, is it's probably the palette shade, but yeah, looks class, doesn't it? I kind of want the pink one. I kind of want them all really, but they're 50 quid a pop. Leon Sharnley is an interesting potential looking player. Hinselwood, we're not sure about. We'll wait and find out a bit more. Levy doesn't look like he's going to be good enough just yet, but again, we'll find out. Newman as a winger, he's a Paisley boy. 13 for acceleration, dribbling, determination, flair. He might be good enough. 49 quid on the website. I love the fact you're already straight on there. Barton going, I've had a look, I've had a quick look, quick nosy. Website is cool. First thing you see is a lottery ticket. Just couldn't be more Scottish if you tried, could it? Aaron Ramage. Work rate's not brilliant, is it? Leon Sharney, Chick's boy, might bring sword to training. Oh, really? Do I get that reference? I'm not sure I do. Tell me more about it. Players released in Scotland. Ainsley O'Hare. Let's see what you're all saying, shall we? I was worried if it was related to Charnley, who was at Newcastle, because of course, you know, heaven forbid we should sign someone who's associated to the worst ever chairman in football by all accounts. Abu Kamara. Let's have a look and see what else was released. Shanks. Oh, just not good enough. Not good enough, I'm afraid. Craig Gordon. 37-year-old scout. Kieran Ingram. Conor Morgan. I can't believe that Craig Gordon's still only 37. This is clearly a different Craig Gordon. Surely. Has to be, right? Yes, it is. 100% it's a different Craig Gordon. Right, so all these players have retired. Scroll down. Here we've got players who've been released. Admiral Musweke. Harvey Sinclair, 33. Cameron Yates. See if there's anyone who's actually been half decent has been released that might actually come and play for us. Ethan Hamilton, 33 years old. Do you reckon he'd fancy a little run around? Luke McCormack. Harvey Sinclair is ex-Venezia. Then in you come, sir. He is as well. Incredible. Keenan Davies. Is that former Villa striker Keenan Davies? It is. 34. He's retiring, so we don't need him. Jack Diamond, former Sunderland player. Oh, here we go. Here we go. 32. Vontae Daly Campbell. We had a look at Ollie Watkins, 36 years old from Rangers. Harry Wilson. Xander McBurney. Callum Gunner. I mean, it's all just guesswork at this point, isn't it? Keona Tete. I figured he would be Rogan. That's why I was just like, I'm just going to quickly move just in case. Let's have a look at Keona Tete, shall we? 30 years old. That's not too old, really. Cameron Ferguson, 6'6". John McGinn. Should we try and bring a 37-year-old John McGinn in? Retiring, though, isn't he? He's going to retire. That will be the John McGinn, yeah. I love the fact he went back to St Mirren. Love that. Michael Wardrop, 35. I mean, if we can convince him for a season, that'd be brilliant. But he does say he wants to retire, so. And we are saying as well that the plan is to try and bring a whole bunch of, a whole bunch of youth and pace into the side. That's what we want to try and do and get them pushed on through the divisions. So, is someone like John McGinn the right answer? Probably not. I think Ian Wilson might be worth for a season or two. Where's Ian Wilson? Have I gone past him? Is he on this list, is he? Or is he potentially someone who's still under contract? Mackenzie Lemon. He was on the list. Can't remember when. Ian Wilson. That guy there, 33. Can't give him a trial, sadly. Okay. Greg Taylor's on there as well, though, so we can't get him. Okay, that's fine. Mentor purposes is a good point, but I think the fact that he's retiring in a week is probably going to be an issue. I think that's going to be the thing that's going to hold us back. So Ainsley O'Hare doesn't want to come on trial, but let's keep him on the shortlist just in case. John McGinn rejects the contract. Approach to sign. Doesn't fancy it. He's not up for the fight. Keane Tete doesn't fancy it. Abu Kamara doesn't fancy it. Haven't left Ross County. Jack Diamond, no. He's left St Johnston. Try and sign him. No, he doesn't want it. Ethan Hamilton says no. Harvey Sinclair says no. But the one person who said yes is BTC. Get in. Love it. Love the fact he's back again. Right. This is where his retribution story comes. We start building it now, right? Bailey Cadamarteri is going to start scoring the goals. Just like old times. Just like old times. Let's look at it. Look at his record. We played for Longford last season. He got 15 goals, 16 goals in 35 games, 33 games. So he played in the Irish First Division. He got 10 in 24 when we played at the Manorama National for Oxford. He got 22 in 55, and he got 43 in 43 for Linfield. So now it's time for him to start banging those goals in for us. Has Scott left town already? Not yet. Not yet. He's still not anywhere to be seen. But Bailey's in though. Bailey's in. I like the fact he doesn't expect to be a first teamer as well, because it's like almost like he knows. It's like, look, I know I'm not gonna be here all the time. Danny Spencer's locked in a contract. Should we bring Scott O'Neill back? I mean, I didn't want to let him go. That's the thing. I didn't want to see him leave. Felt like I was bullied into it. I wasn't bullied into it. I'm my own man. I'm not able to recommend anybody at this point. Look at his attributes. Has he got worse? Yeah, of course he has. Of course he's got worse. He's definitely getting worse. He's getting older and he's playing at lower level. So he's come in as a backup player. So he's not coming as a first teamer. So that's the thing. We've brought him in to sort of, give us an option. Owen Toll's gone to Linfield. Oh, it's a left Linfield, I think, sorry. Maybe gone back to Linfield, actually. Andy Carroll scored a hat-trick for me. Maybe you were right last year. I told you, Rogie, didn't I? Told you. I mean, if he's going to be a backup player, off the ball, determination, finishing, composure, anticipation. If we got a big player to play alongside him, then he comes in and he covers McBride. Yeah, I'm going to put him on the bench because he's not a first teamer, right? He doesn't start. Where's Webster going to play? Because I'm just not convinced he's got what it takes, apart from the fact he's quick. Really. don't know. I'm confused. I'm confused. I mean, I'm not confused. I just think that we need to buy. We need some better players in it as soon as we can. As soon as we can. So ball winning midfielder, big striker. They're our first options. At least one midfielder as well. Davidenko, welcome in. Appreciate the follow. Very kind for that. How are the players we've had a look at? RJJ not fans. We need to leave RJJ. I think he'll be too expensive. He's like, his wages are in the thousands, I think. Senior affiliates. Quick look. And that'd be affiliates. Dundee. So we might be able to get some players from Dundee. Potentially. So we'll see what they've got. Bradley Bassett, there's the guy we want. Yeah, we'll go and see what we can get from them. Presumably it's gonna have to be wait until the transfer window opens, and then do we just ask for them? Is that how it works? Do we say, like, can we have these guys, please? Stephen McGuinness is wanted by Dungannon. I seem to remember Stephen McGuinness being all right. Just ask for a loan like normal. Okay. That probably makes sense, actually. Just... I think we're allowed 5, is that right? We're going to have 5 loanees, I think, in total. So... Yeah, I mean, we'll obviously have to look at the old firm teams and try and take those players in. Oh! Hang on. We've ended up signing that Macbeth. Is that, yeah? It was he who shall not be named. The Scottish striker. Should just click accept. The Scottish player is in. Jeez. I wasn't expecting that. Now improve the training ground. I mean, look, he's leaving, right? We ain't going to get the training ground improved. Let's be honest. He knows that. I know that. You know that. Right? I think we all get murdered. Okay. He gives us something different, doesn't he? He absolutely gives us something different. I'd say what, he plays with his back to goal. Pressing forward on defend. Deep line forward, maybe. DLF's my thought. I was just wondering whether there's anything I can sort of run the channels or whatever, but he moves in the channels. Plays with his back to goal, so yeah, we want him kind of coming deep and holding the ball up, don't we? Essentially, we could play around with it. Holds the ball up, holds positions. Takes more risks, hold the balls, it moves in the channels, okay. Right, let's try him as a DLF first of all. We need a Banco and a McDuff. We need some big, strong buggers in the middle, don't we? Who's this guy? Robbie Brown, Paisley born. 6'3", jumping reach of 14, heading of 10, marking of only 9. Where's he come from? Bid man would. We need yes you would, yeah. We need absolutely I would. Pavel Paprota. Ewan Aiton. Aiton. Yeah, looks fine. Looks very fine. 6'7". Wanted by Dunfermline. 45 grand. Potential championship level player. Let's have a little look at him, shall we? Lee Gemmell. Lawrence McMullen. Looks all right. If he covers both sides. Can't get him in on trial though. Okay. Shakespeare for captain, yeah. Should we bring Scott O'Neill back? Let's have a look and see if Scott O'Neill wants to come back. Can't bring him back. Can't. It hurts my soul, Rogie. It hurts my soul. Will we bring in more players in? Yes. I know I want to. I know. Bradley Dorrington. Oh, that sounded like a name that was very... that sounded like the fellow we had at Banbridge, but he will. Oh yeah, he'll absolutely tell me to get to fuck. 100%. Ashante Twyford. What a name that is. The thing is, though, he's only made it as far as the canteen, so he's not even left the club yet. Released him 3 weeks ago. Ooh. Look at this lad. Again, he's one of those ones we just go straight in for, don't you? 6'6", 19, jumping reach. Everyone else is in for him. Let's just go for it. Another star player? First teamer, I think. Give him the star player treatment. If he wants to leave, he can leave. 675 quid. Will that make him the most expensive player at the club? Or the highest earner? I think it probably will, won't it? Yeah, they double. Oof. What do we think? It's a lot of money in it. Yeah, no worries, Rogie, no worries. What do you think about this guy? Even 400's like double what we're paying. Johnny McElroy, appreciate the follow, by the way. Relegation release clause, bonuses, knocking out 575. He's in discussions with Hibs, I think. Is that what I said there? $550 is still a lot, innit? But we'll let him go with it. See what he reckons. What do you think of this lad? Sorry. He could be an option, this fella. Hamilton have gone in for him. Okay, there's another. I think Hamilton are a bigger club, aren't they? Let's face it, so. Might end up losing him. What do you reckon of this lad? Does he look worthwhile? They're saying he's got a lot of potential. I don't know. I don't think he's got anything that we need, though, has he? His passing's not great. His marking's not very good. His vision's not very good. His teamwork isn't very good. I've talked myself out of it. He's just not very good, to be honest. Comparing him to this guy, this Aiton, I think he's probably... Aiton's better in the air, better mentally, better defensively, better physically. Not as quick, granted, but probably about part-time will hammer his development. He could be a ball boy. Yeah, pretty much. Aiton's got better technicals here. Passing is 12 as opposed to 9. Tackling 10 as opposed to 7. Vision, only 8 as opposed to 7. But then teamwork, 12 as opposed to 6. Aiton's much better, isn't he? Fitness is much lower, though. Charlie Lynn, 16 for fitness. Aiton's only got 8. Has got better balance and jumping reach. And he's like 6'7" or something stupid like that. So... likes the big matches, team player, adept with both feet, versatile. That could be it. Couldn't it? Where do you feel the squad could be strengthened? Everywhere, really. Right, we have to pay for Aiton. Okay? Or we could loan him. Oh, is it Dundee as well? Oh, let's get him in on loan then. Yeah, if he's one of ours, let's try and get him in. He's not a link up with us. Robbie Brown. Suggesting. Cinch level centre half. Doesn't enjoy the big matches. Nobody in this division enjoys big games. None of these matches are that big, don't worry. Don't worry yourselves, fellas. Who's our centre halves? O'Neill, innit? Mentally and physically, he's better than O'Neill, but then all the technical skills, O'Neill's better. Not much between them, though. Heading the same, marking's the same, a little bit in tackling. Okay. 6 of composure scares. Yeah. That's fair, actually. That is fair. Let's have a little look and see where we get to, shall we? I still can't believe we got that the Scottish striker. Still can't believe that. Ashanti Twyford could be the option. Renaming. What are we going with? Leclosian. Angus Cranacan. Who's he going for though? Who are we giving him his name to? I don't feel like we can take over Macbeth, can we? I feel as though we have to keep it. Angus Cranacan. Who's going to be called Angus Cranacan? It'd be bad luck to change Macbeth. Exactly. Someone who comes into the first team. Okay. So you want to, right? We're gonna cash someone in now then as a player who we might look at. Right. Okay. So you're talking like an under 18 essentially who might come in the first team. So let's see. So Finley Duffy looks half decent. Callum Campbell. There's another soup. Cullen Skink obviously has already been taken. I mean, Mark Owens, the Australian. Evan Armstrong. Have a think what you reckon. Slow now. I'm not sure if that's an indication for some players or whether it's an indication for how we spend our time on these saves. £575, that's fine. We'll pay all his wages, that's not a problem. Armstrong will do. Let's just rechange him then to Angus Cranacan. There we go. Great one. Great name, actually. I love it. It's perfect. think we keep that job open, I think. I think we spend enough time on the save, just enough. Do you think? Some people say that they could definitely spend a bit more. Offers made for Gary Balmer. Right, okay. Are we keeping Balmer or not? He's wanted by Dumbarton and Stirling, who are League Two sides. He's not going to cost us. Big Ashley, welcome in, bud. Never mind about being late. It's not a problem at all. It's not a problem at all. Don't you worry about that. It's a pleasure to have you in. Is Balmer good enough? He's back up, really, isn't he? Can we get better backup players? I would like to think so. He's a right wing backup, yeah. So the fact we've got teams coming in for him is sort of doesn't really matter, does it? We have to go and get some more players. Okay. Kilburn and Rangers have made a bid for Scott O'Neill. Offers made for Gary Fleck. I'm not convinced. Oh, both in the Championship. I was like, Airdrie. I don't really think he's better than what we got. Drysdale's gone to Falkirk, right? Okay, so there you go. So we tried. He turned us down, so not a problem. Fleck looks all right, but is he better than what we've already got? Really, we've got Colton. I know he's 29, and we've got Spencer. Actually, he does look reasonable when you compare them to those two, doesn't it? Is he better than those two? Is he better than Colton? I know Colton's 29. So you're sort of thinking, okay, fine, it's players to move on. You hate the yellow. Yeah, the yellow kit. The yellow kit's stunning, Ashley. It's beautiful. Terrific sign. And mentally better, defensively better. Not as good in the air. Not as quick, not as physical. Determined leadership, concentration, bravery. Okay, these are good attributes, to be honest. Marking's better, tackling's better. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, we might want to consider this. Compensation, 425 grand. There shouldn't be any compensation, should there? Because he doesn't play for a club. Try and nudge him down a smidge. They sell a replica of it in the shop. What, like yeah. Like obviously they sell it the proper one, but it's like, is there a cheap one as well? You don't need a cheap one, right? I mean, at least we're getting a recruitment meeting now, though, so we can actually start picking about what sort of players we're going to look for. All right, let's set the focus up then. Okay, so Armour's the number one goalkeeper, Blessing's the backup. Okay, I think we're all agree with that, yeah? Sound about right? And then, right back, Winiarski and Valentine. So we need a backup right back. Okay. We've got 8 trophies so far, actually. This is where we currently sit with the trophy count. So 8 so far, most of them in Northern Ireland. And then we've got 3 in England as well. So we're on our way over to Scotland now, which hopefully should be quite good fun. As you can see there, the ones in yellow, that's what we're going to be competing for this year. So League One, the Scottish Cup, the Premier Sports Cup, and the SPFL trophy as well. Very conscious of getting a bit gravelly now, so apologies for that. Right, so backup right back is needed at this point. Centre backs. Young Jordan O'Neill. We've got Connor Allen. Sean Valentine can sort of do that as well. McCafferty can do that. We like the look of Robbie Brown, possibly. Did I get good at the game? I've always been all right. I've always been all right at the game. That's the problem. I don't think people really understand that. It's all about playing it to a level of interest as well, isn't it? So, you know, keeping things going, making it fun, making it interesting. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So centre backs again, we're all right with those. Left backs, we think we're okay for left backs, I reckon. Possible question on centre back, maybe. I know we've just looked at trying to bring one in there, but possible. Midfield right, we still need. I'm not 100% sold on Webster. I know he's the club captain, but I'm not 100% sold on him. Ashanti Twyford, good acceleration, not particularly strong, good dribbling. He's wanted by Inverness, so they're in our league. So I guess if we don't get him, they get him, and then we have to sort of like deal with that, really. Potentially be a Premiership level player as well, so that's pretty handy. So it might be worth a look at. Kean Leslie, of course, may be an option. We'll see. Central midfielder Brogan Walls. We need to buy more centre backs, or more central midfielders. Sorry. Charnley we thought was maybe an option. He looks handy enough. For 19, he can certainly do a job, can't he? I don't know if he's a defensive midfielder. I'm not sure box to box, but he's got the energy, maybe. Good determination. He could be somebody. Could be a player. Let's have a little look, yeah. Breakthrough prospects. We shouldn't cost us too much either. Oh shit, 140. That's fine. Sean Clark, I don't think it's going to be good enough, to be honest. Really. Finley Marshall, not really convinced either. Troy Edney. He's got me thinking. I'm not sure if he's quite the player or not. You know, separate the centre backs. Yeah, I do. Just like I'll do that probably tomorrow. At the minute, I'm all right. Yay! Mickey Spoon's back. Welcome in, buddy. 18 months on the sub. Appreciate you, Mickey. How's life treating you? How's everything in the world? So what? We're gonna check Edney with Charnley. Charnley a little bit more dynamic, I think, possibly. A bit more attacking minded. So we are looking at box to box and ball winners. They are slightly different players as well. First touch, of course, for Troy is much, much better. His long shots are pretty good as well, to be honest. And then you've got some of these aggressive anticipations, high decision making is good, which I guess you would expect with a box to box, really. Better leadership, but really determined from Charnley. Wants to better himself constantly. Teamwork's good. Off the ball's good. I suppose the question is, how much better are they than what we've got? You know what I mean? And do we just go, you know what, let's just buy them both? Like, is that what it is? Is that what we have to look at and think, go for it? I mean, if money's not really an object, if they're not going to cost too much, then yeah, why not? Why not? I guess as long as we don't, it'll become a regular start when Brogan Walls leaves the club. I mean, yeah, but he ain't going, he ain't leaving, so. Did we put Charnley in as well? Yes, we have, yeah. Excellent. Very good, Mrs. That's one of the oven going to third trimester. May, congratulations. Awesome work, awesome work. Did you have one already, or were you on the go beforehand? Because, like, I'm sure you were on the, you were getting ready for one. So, yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Glad Mrs. Spoon's doing well. Hope it's all good in your household. Painting the nursery, it's infuriating with a mad FM save. Going into IFK Malmo, Ivory Coast. There we go. Look at that. That's what it's all about. Of course we remembered. You know, this is the thing, man. Like, we don't just, you know, we don't just have, this is going to sound really wanky, we don't just have, like, people popping into the stream and that's it. We have people that we get to know, you know, and that we sort of, like, see throughout the course of our journey together. So, yeah, we have 100%, like, if we know that was what was going on, then we'd be like, yeah, we're all right with that. You know, we can learn. So, yeah, no, congratulations, as I say, that's awesome. All right, let's have a look then. So, a defensive midfielder, a target forward, and a right winger. That's what we're looking at. Wish I could tell my scouts, because according to them, there's no BBMs in the game. Well, there's maybe not players that are good enough to do that. Do the boys from the Northern Island still pop in? Not so much. Not now we left. No, I think they got the hump, unfortunately, and they've realised that we've left, so they're just like, well, it's not for us now. But hopefully they'll pop back in eventually. We've got to go back to Banbridge at the end, so they'll be back eventually. You know, Amors appreciate the follow. Very kind. Johnny Smith, 20 for aggression. Look at that. They love it, right? Scott's going to pop in soon. He probably will. Absolutely will. But what's going on here, lads? And the problem is he still won't have even left the... he still won't have even left. He'll still be stood there. Completely unaware as to what's going on. Montrose are going to try and get Fleck. Airdrie want Robbie Brown. Donald McDonald. We've got to sign this guy. We have to. Fucking Donald McDonald. 100%. Lord of the Isles. Let's go in for nothing. Let's see if we can get him in for free. Hello, United City FM. How are we? How are we, sir? Welcome to you. Hope you're good. If you're not following United City FM, why not? Why not? You need to go and make that happen, everybody. Scott O'Neill has rejected Kilwinning Rangers because he wants to stay with us. That's why. Yeah, all very good. All very good. Thank you. Obviously checked on the Football Manager Therapy podcast this week. Very much enjoyed it. as always. I fully got what you were saying as well, by the way, Kev, about your stance in content creation at the minute. I thought that was very eloquently put. As I say, I hope you understood the meme that I sent that through to. I am a community maker, which is if you didn't get the reference, basically, Chris Jericho in AEW to put himself over as a heel. AEW, of course, they're pro wrestling, and WWE is sports entertainment. So, in order for Jericho to put himself over as a heel, he is referring to himself as a sports entertainer in AEW. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go for that. That can be my meme today. So, pop some more water in there because I'm getting gravelly again. Unsure about what to offer for this guy. We'll see. We'll see. He's a backup player. Well, have your kids been sharing more bugs with you? Oh, mate, it's just constant. It's constant. You know, I don't know. I don't know if there's ever a situation where I won't have some sort of illness and ailment. So just deal with it now. It's just life. Sadly. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Beautiful comment from Zar. Like an FMT more and more every week. You guys feel so much more authentic each week. Brilliant. Perfect. Martin Kerr. Not quite Mark Kerr. Martin Kerr. I think we have to go for it, don't we? He's got the name. Everyone wants to play first team football. More interested in Dundee United and Hearts. I mean, yeah, it's understandable. 700 quid. See you later. See you later, Martin Kerr. That was fun. Well, it lasted. But it ain't going to last any more than that, sadly. That's what she said. Let's just pay the £6,000, shall we? I mean, we're trying to sign a guy called Donald McDonald. We've just got to do it. Dunfermline trying to sign Ayrton. Right, fine, we'll just... Look. Okay, let's try and buy him then, right? Rather than... We're not selling Jordan O'Neill. No. Right, I think what we've done is we've got ourselves into the position where we're going to end up with all the centre midfielders. And that's where we are. Yes, we have left. We have left Oxford, left Torytown, and we're currently in the... Why is it not... Cancel transfer. There you go. That's one. I want to just tick round. Let me go back in and sign him and try and sign him. Are we in for loan? That's fine. If we're still in for loan, that's all right. Take that off. There. Yeah, I think we're going to end up with a whole bunch of centre midfielders that I've not considered at this point. Forgot we were in for Ayrton. Which we may be. We might not be. We're not sure. We'll see. Last season at Oxford, Kev, wasn't good. Wasn't good, to be honest. We actually started slipping. Well, what happened was we started pretty well. Okay? A little too well. And then... I think we sort of got found out a bit and just weren't really, like, the performances weren't very good. The results weren't very good. And then it transpired that I also got us slightly stuck with FFP and therefore we couldn't buy any players in the transfer window, which was a bit shit. So we had to sell a load of players, which wasn't good. And then I was like, right, we just need to get out while we can, and we're like, look, let's at least try and stay, for the Pizza Cup, really. And we got knocked out by AFC Wimbledon. So at that point, it was like, look, there's nothing to do here. We'd already accepted the job to come and sort of like move to East Fife. So yeah, we figured it was going to work out for the best, to be honest. I did a Work the Space. No, Work the Space is famous for resigning, right? Is that what it is? I don't know if Work the Space has got into a problem where he can't rage quit. Oh yeah, no, I didn't rage quit. I just kept it going. It's like, nah, it's fine. I don't think that things were going well. I think things were going quite badly, and we just had to sort of be like, look, let's just move. Oh, Leeds wouldn't give him the funds to sign Haaland. Oh yeah, right, yeah, massively different situation. We basically overspent, and we weren't allowed to buy players. So, I didn't realise that I'd done that, and there you go. That's what we did. Expectations for the club: avoid relegation. Right. We did the opposite. You anti-rage, not quit. Yeah, I dragged it out longer than I could possibly do. East Fife offered you the job but couldn't afford the compensation. Yeah, so I went, can I leave? And the board were like, we'd rather you didn't. And I was like, yeah, but I'm going to go though. So let's just do that, shall we? Right. Hello, welcome. Your reputation is sure to increase if you meet expectations. I look forward to playing under you, says Gavin Webster. Excellent, good. That's what we like. I'm confident we can beat the drop and stay in the division. There we go. We can stay up, 100%. Perfect. Everyone's happy. I think. Balmer's just back up. Let him go. Leon Charnley's coming in, but Gary Fleck's on his way out. Okay, so Charnley's coming as well. Aiton snubs Dunfermline. Excellent. But I think we've sort of got ourselves into a bit of a pickle here because he doesn't seem to be able to sign for us. Okay. Cowdenbeath want Joe Newman. Do we want Joe Newman? Let's see what the squad's looking like so far. Let's see where we're at. Look at that. Financials. We're spending 4,700 quid. Our wage budget is 8,500. Well and truly within our budgets at this point. Let's see what the squad looks like. So, Troy Edney at this point will go there, but I don't think he's the guy. Raspberry's still got to come. If we can get Renford in, then we'll be laughing. Oh, it's this monthly fee here. Bastards. Right, Robbie Brown's gone to Airdrie. That's fine. Okay. Well, it's not fine, but he's... So we still need a centre-back. Okay. We still need a proper central midfielder. We're hoping for McDonald. Linton. What about Sheffield Wednesday? How much would he cost for us? 1,100 quid? Don't think so. That's not a thing. Under 21s. Charlie, there we go. Moving the senior squad for now. Who else has come in? Nobody else at the minute. Yeah, Kalamari, Macbeth, Edney and Charlie. That's what we brought in. All right, so that's essentially a box-to-box, essentially, really. Volante. So we'll try that and see if that works. We can't get Raspberry, unfortunately. As much as we'd like to. Is there a good financial setup at East Fife you can wreak havoc with? I mean, it seems like we've got a bit of money, to be honest. Reached the playoffs minimum, apparently. Which is pretty impressive given the fact that our expectation by the club is to avoid relegation. So, that's interesting. I mean, in terms of finances, Kev, 270 grand's quite a lot of money in this division. And then, yeah, we've probably got about half of our wage budget left as well. So, yeah, we've got a bit of money. If we have to start splashing the cash, we can. But I think, as always, it's all about buying the right players, and that's what I need to think about. I need to make sure I buy the right players rather than just being like, oh, hey, here's 17 signings for no reason, which I am partial to doing. Heartbroken, no raspberry yet. There will be some. Sean Valentine wants to go and join Kelty Hearts. I mean, all right, it's transfer listed, fair enough. Okay. Oxford and East Fife now just going gold and black kit teams. I think so, maybe. That's not a bad way of doing it, right? Only one young gun that can make us some money in 2 years. Yeah, we do. We need to be we need to get another Bobby Fresno, essentially, that we can cash in on. Need some pre-season games as well, actually. Need some friendlies. So let's have a quick look at that. Premier Sports Cup is in July. East Fife is my local team. No way that I have 270 grand. Not at all, Bob Scott. No chance. I've got no idea how I got this much money. So I'm just shaking my head out going, yeah, it ain't a thing. I'll enjoy it while it's there, but it's not something that would normally be expected. Right, you know what? Let's take no status set. Right. Right, we don't want you going. We still might get Donald McDonald in, which would be pretty good. In fact, actually, we've got him. We've got Donald McDonald. There's our boy. We had to sign him. We had to sign him. Because why would you not? Get him in. 8 grand. Bargain sign him, right? Maybe someone won the lottery and donated quarter of a million, $500,000, yeah. Right, so that's our defensive midfielder in there. Valentine, right, okay. Valentine's off to Kelly Hearts. It's fine. That's not fine, but it's happening. Halfback. Ballman midfielder. Vinyarski suspended. Can't believe Valentine's is going to leave. Okay. Actually, Charlie can play right back. Fullback defend. We're going to attack. Try and make some sort of like a couple of slightly more attacking players, I think. John Thackeray, youngster. Edney. Jack Hadjock. He looks all right. Looks fine. McGowan. Yeah. Angus McCracken. Can play everywhere now, apparently. Mackay as well. There we go. Cool. So we definitely do need an extra right back now then. Definitely do. And a centre back. Davy Campbell, look at that guy. Wages a top draw though. Roger Cummins again. Looks fairly decent. Russell Thompson. From Dundee. Let's take a little nosy. Johnny Smith now. Interesting options. We got Eddie. We'll centre half. Might need to do a lot of trialing, to be honest, to get some more players back in. Oh, I've gone proper deep now, haven't I? I've hit the Barry Whites. 2 seconds. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, get the hydrates back on. Right. Tell you what, let's scoot through quickly. Play this Peterhead game. So at least we can see what the team looks like right now. We're going to go with a 4-4-2. Just as is. Start taking a little bit of a nosy at it. Make some notes on what we think is good, what we think can improve. And then, obviously, tomorrow, we'll be able to start playing with it properly. If that makes sense, yeah? I think most people take a bit of time, to be honest, on this sort of stuff. And you should really as well, because you shouldn't really be rushing it, should you? I mean, Russell Thompson, does he look? He looks pretty decent, doesn't he? £1,000 is that? Can we just jump straight in and be like, right, what you want? Nah, I'm not paying that much. I'm not paying that much money. Like, granted, he might well be the best player in the league, but I think that's a bit too much cash at this moment in time. I think our top earner is on 300 quid, so I don't really want to be going like, oh, here's a guy who's on 1,000. It just drives the wrong behaviours, doesn't it? You know. Looks like Joby McAnuff has been the appointed the new manager of Blackburn, so that's interesting. See what we can get from Dundee. Yeah, good shout. Oh, Mike Davies. We had him at Oxford, didn't we? I'm sure we did. We trialled him. Did we sign him? Charlie Lennon, remember him? Yeah. Player who's just refused to actually... Right. Nothing happened there, did there? I think there's got to be some way of us getting out of this, because I think we're stuck in it. Don't look like we can do anything with it, to be honest. Even a Southend fan, how are you? Rich Wood, obviously, we know about. Then he's not going to come back, is he, sadly? Jose Mendonca. Greg Neal. How do we find out which players we can get, by the way? Is there not a way that I can do it? So if I click affiliate clubs. How do I get the players out? It's not just a thing where I can just go like loan for them all, is it? If anyone knows, then let me know here. Go all players. Look at the status and then show drop downs. Team report. Alright, so I go onto the normal like that. So also if I go for John Belford then. So only the players that are on loan essentially, yeah? Right, team report and transfer. Oh, there. Ah, right, okay, so I can only get those players that are actually on loan there. Okay. That makes sense. Extra news. Right. I can have a look for here. Okay. That makes sense. Thank you. He used to be on the old version. He used to just be able to request players for loan, and they just send you a bunch of players. Obviously not now. Right. What I think we do then is I think we're going to have to scout the players who are listed for loan, right? Including players that we know that aren't going to come to us because they've been on loan before. And then scout. Is that going to cost? Yeah, we'll just... Right. Yeah, it's just assign a pool. Right, there you go. They're being scouted. Okay. We'll see what they've got, what they come back with. Balmer's gone. Fair enough. Okay. For the other Premier League clubs too, but the loans will likely cost. Yeah, that's a good point actually. If we go like Celtic or Rangers or even Aberdeen, I suppose really they're going to end up costing us, aren't they? Okay. I mean, we could, yeah, we'll have a think. We'll see where we get to. Yeah, we might have a few plans. Donald McDonald could become a great player. Of course he could. Callum Campbell, Finlay Duffy, these are all top quality players. All top quality players. To get a Celtic B loan for nothing in your state. Well, I mean that's positive. Mike Davies doesn't want to be there. Fine. DJ Pedro. I don't just want to go straight to sign. I don't, but I do at the same time. I'm not sure. I need to have a think about that. Or maybe do that tomorrow. So do we go straight for DJ Pedro? The answer is probably yes. I can't. Peterhead game, please. I don't think Stephen Douglas is going to want to come, is he? No, not at all. It's DJ Pedro. I know. Evening, Owen. How are you, buddy? Welcome in. All good, thank you. We're just getting ourselves settled in East Fife. We've spent all of tonight getting acquainted with the squad, trying to have a little look around, seeing who we're going to try and keep, who we're going to move on. Done some bits of business. We're about to do our first cup game just to kind of see what the team looks like, I suppose, because we ain't got a clue really. But yeah, we'll be able to find out very quickly as to whether or not it's any good, or whether it needs a lot of improvement. So we'll see. We'll see. How's life in your world anyway? What's happening? What's your saves up to? Tunbridge have bid for Barry Hercules. £250 for Bazza. I mean, look, I love the man to bits, but he ain't worth £250, is he? No, he's not. He's not. Sorry, Mrs. J. Get me in for 200, but no more than that. Even then, I don't think we should be signing him. Really, don't think he's good enough. Poor Bazza. Murray McDonald has agreed to go and join Rosvale. Is that on loan? Yeah, loan. Yeah, fine. Life's good. Granny way in age on the journeyman. China is climbing the prestige. Nice. Real interest these days is beating steak, baked, salty, and alley in the network save. Oh, excellent. How's that one going? Is that like a regular thing? That's only once a week, isn't it? I'm sure I've seen that about. Recruitment feedback. Who've they seen? That's fine. Ferguson. Looks alright. Decent. Dylan Wells. Quick. I guess is kind of what we need. Former East Fife, actually, so don't know if he's going to want to come back. Right. Liam Bissett. .6'1". Won about 22 clubs. He could be a player, couldn't he? Fuck it. You can leave when the training facilities don't get upgraded. That's fine. Right, end meeting. Once a week when you're doing it, can we do 3 weeks a month? How does transfer work? Yeah, of course, yeah. That's the thing with the network save as well. Like, you've got to be able to commit the time, and everyone's got to be able to commit the time. So it's not like just one of you can be like, oh yeah, I'm not about. Like, yeah, if you're not about, then that just kind of like fucks the whole game up, doesn't it? Really. So everybody's applied for Bissett, so like we might not get him. Then again, we got that boy from Celtic, so you never know. You never know. All right, 3 days and we can finally see what this team looks like in action for the first time as well. Great thing about the lads, they're all great streamers, so we'll be doing season down in 5 streams, solid network save. Five's pretty quick, actually. If you get that done in five streams for a season, you'll absolutely take that. They're all worse than you. Jesus. That's what you want as well, though, isn't it? That's what you want. You want a little bit of excitement there. But I guess the network save is all just like, it's just the sort of the atmosphere, really, isn't it? I'm guessing. You know, it's meant to just be. I'm guessing it's meant to be entertaining. Everyone wants to be a star player. Everybody. See you there. £2,000 wages. I don't think so. Don't think so at all. Ridiculous behaviour. Classic room splitting questions and debates. Do you wash your feet in the shower? I mean, there's definitely questions that need to be answered there, and that is the big question of the day. I mean, I'll give you my answer. Yes, of course I do. Of course, wash my feet in the shower. Followed by our trifles actually lucky. Trifles actually lucky? Yeah. I can confirm they definitely are. But then also unlucky because then I also lost a trophy. So, yeah, it's tough work for trifles. Could help with cramps as well. I mean, there's a question for you, Owen. When you have your next meeting, so it makes it sound like a yeah. When you have your next meeting, ask if cramps a real thing. Has anyone actually had cramp in the real world? Because I don't believe anyone has. It was invented by the birthday card companies. Hello, Jebaru. How are you, pal? Does have fruit? What? Cramp? Oh, no, trifles. Trifles. Hello, pal. How are you? Welcome in. You're not getting context, Owen. You're not getting context with about this. It's like, that's all there is. That's all you need. Just, cramp isn't a real thing, and everyone knows that. 229 games for York for this lad. I don't think he's going to come on trial if there's other teams already in for him, so we'll see. Yeah, it was a bit of a, I wouldn't say a last minute decision, but like obviously with the internet not working yesterday, I was like, right, I just need to get, I need to try and get on and get something sorted out so that we can get some progress, to be honest, on this. So yeah, we jumped on like a bit earlier, and yeah, just about to get our first game with East Fife done, and then we're going to go and raid. So, because as you can tell, my voice is holding up spectacularly. Where are Peterhead? League 2, we're playing cautious. I don't know about that. Let's try and be a little bit more adventurous, shall we? Right. Let's have a little look. We'll see. We'll see. It's just the first nosy round of the team, so we'll be able to make a little bit of an assessment as we go through. Beth, kind of the Scottish striker. Right. Let's go for it. Here we go then. First match in charge of East Fife against Peterhead. Scottish Cup. So I think it looks like it's like a group competition, this one, so it should be interesting to see sort of how we get on with it. As you can see, we've got no stands, because don't bother with that. It just slows us down. O'Neill, great ball through. Macbeth. Pings over the top. So yeah, we've got Montrose, Morton, Peterhead and Ross County in our group. So I guess it's like the Scottish Pizza Cup, essentially. The deep fried Pizza Cup, really. You've signed the next batter student for Pescara. Who have you signed? You sound like Carlos Tevez or something. That'd be a great Pescara signing. Tevez will be top. Oh, new gen. Oh, nice. I've just signed Claudio Caniggia for Dundee. Remember when that happened in real life, though? Caniggia and Ravanelli at Dundee. Webster, McDonald's headed close. I'm not done with set pieces. I don't think that's going to be the major issue with this save, to be honest. That'll be fine. He scored already, but look at him close. He's a mercenary personality. Yes. Love it. Love it. That's what you want. Someone who's literally there for the money. The Bride rolls. Doesn't get the ball through, though. Charlie's quite out of position. Oof. Good save from Armour. So we are potentially susceptible to counter-attacks. Which is what you expect. But here we go, Webster's away. He's quick. Can he spot the run, though? Spencer. Can he spot the run? The Scottish striker. Need to do better. Webster's free kick. Off the top of the crossbar. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? 7 shots, 1 on target. They've had 1 shot, 1 on target. Have we not got an assistant manager? Oh, don't tell me I've got to go and get an assistant manager now. That seems like the sort of thing I haven't looked at. Oof. Head over the top, that's fine. Can you make it Peter Reid? Well, we when we were at Oxford, we looked at Tony Mowbray as director of football, so possibly. He is in the game, obviously, when you first start, anyway. Don't know where he is now. Webster looks for Scottish striker, pulls it back. McBride. There we go. First goal for East Fife. With Thomas Frank for 2 seasons. Nice. Good ball down the channels. Macbeth spots it. That'll do. David Moyes' chief scout at Dundee United, says Laclosian. My parents said I'm a dog rebel. Peter Reid is in the farm now. Yeah. Probably. Great ball through. Scottish striker. Oh, he's trying to dink it over the keeper. Trying to be a bit too cute there, didn't he? Rebel's dead, mate. Peter's alive and well. Really sorry to tell you this, but yeah. Your dog is dead. Because they should do it in a sort of Arnie style voice. It's the only way to break it to him, Jebru. That's the thing. Like, he's been lied to too long by his parents. Spencer's away. There's the Scottish striker again. He's getting into positions. Great ball. Webster fancies it again. Nah. He was accused of chasing sheep off a cliff. I mean, interesting. I don't think he was, though, was he? I don't know how you could take a dog to trial. There he is. There's the fucker. That one there. Chasing my sheep off over the fucking hills. He was. I don't know. I'm not sure I agree with that. The farm had a strict no returns policy. Yeah, I guess after they've fallen off a cliff, probably not. There we go. That'll do then. 1-0. First match in charge of East Fife. Happy. How do you plead? Woof. Exactly. Are you licking your own balls? Like, yes, sir. And so is my dog. Yeah, I probably could do an assistant manager, actually, couldn't I? Don't get one because I'm part-time. Excellent. Right. I'm in charge around here. Don't need an assistant manager. They just slow you down, don't they? Okay, so that's been good so far. Right. What we're going to do now is we're going to go and drop a raid on We're back tomorrow, by the way, just in case you weren't aware. Evening, Ben, by the way, welcome in. We're off to Ellie Gibson tonight. She's got a 24-hour charity stream for premature babies, which, of course, is a charity that is incredibly close to my heart. So go and give her some love, go and give her a follow, all that sort of stuff. Go show some support. And we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully my voice will as well. We'll see. But yeah, appreciate everyone being in. Take care. See you all in a bit. Bye now.